All right, hello everyone. I'm Ozster, and I am running Super Metroid Subversion 100%. This is a basically a pretty recent mod for. I forgot to set up the intro.
That's okay, you can see that.
I'll just include the intro in it. Sorry about that. Okay, yeah. So I'm Ozster. I'll be running Super Metroid Subversion 100%. Time starts in 3, 2, 1, go.
The last Metroid is in captivity.
You don't get to see this part very often.
Is at peace.
Yeah. So this mod came out pretty recently. It was made by Test Runner and Amoeba of Doom. They worked on it for about 7 years and finally released it in August 2022. If one of you wants to talk more about it.
Sure, yeah. This is pretty much like the first big technical display of the new ROM editing tool for Super Metroid called Smart Super Metroid Auto Repoint Tool. And there's going to be a lot of like there'll be new custom items in this. There'll be a lot of just things that hacks haven't really done to this extent.
Yeah, really,
previously.
this game almost very much feels like it could have been like the actual sequel to the original Super Metroid. So, really neat game. We've both played through it. I'm Tracy M. This is Sean Cass. We've both played through it. Sean's done a little speed running. I've been doing. Those of you who know me, I do a lot of commentary, especially for his runs. So, we're here.
So yeah, for the most part, the physics will be consistent to Super Metroid. Just
For the most part.
For the most part. A lot of the mechanics are the same. We do have respin in this, which is nice. So if you break your spin, you're able to spin again and continue to wall jump and things of that nature. As far as the lore of this game goes, if you weren't able to or weren't paying attention to the text here in the intro, the space pirates have commandeered Federation airship, and they are on the planet below TN-578, trying to mine this radioactive mineral called Verdite and combine it with Metroids to create new and very terrible weapons. So first we're starting here in the spaceport itself. This is where the Federation ship, the GFS Daphne, is parked at. And we're going to head over to the cargo ship, which is just another ship docked here at the spaceport to pick up missiles as the first thing. And coming up in a couple of rooms, you'll see in the bottom left the hack lists the room names. Compartments is probably the hardest room in the game.
Think of it like the climb in vanilla.
All right, here we go.
There's a lot of shot blocks to go through, enemies, and lag. More lag than you can ever bargain for.
Yeah, so this game a little different. We do start out with missiles, not morph ball. This isn't like Dread, where we don't get more. Well, spoilers, but I guess the game's old enough now. You don't get morph ball for quite a while. It won't be too long, but it's not our first major item.
Yep, and you'll notice as we pick up the missiles here that there'll be a universal ammo count to deal with. So whenever you pick up a new type of ammo, you're given 10. An additional 10, so missiles just comes with 10 ammo. And throughout the game, there will be small and large ammo upgrades to pick up instead of missile packs, super missiles, like that.
And the drops reflected too, because instead of having your normal missile super power bomb, instead of an enemy that would normally drop a missile is just going to give one missile. A super is, I think, 2, or is it 3? I'm not sure, but it's 2. And if an enemy normally drop a power bomb, it's 5. So it kind of matches.
It's 2, 5, and 10.
2, 5, and yeah. Oh, okay.
So 2 for the missile, 5 for the super. What would be the super drop? 10 for what would be the power bomb.
Well,
drop.
that's what it costs, but with the drops.
No. I'm saying that's what the drops are.
Oh, okay. Okay. I guess I never actually looked. Okay, just the icons make it look like it's 2.
Hopefully you can get this big jump to skip the tripper ride.
Yay.
It's actually tough to make that without having to wall jump off the little platform side there.
And the missile doors cost only 3, which is a bit uncommon actually. Like usually they'll either keep the standard 5 from vanilla, or it'll just make it a single missile door. 3 is uncommon. Okay, so we're about to get to actually where the GFS Daphne is parked. So it's similar, if you played Metroid Prime 3, it's similar to the GFS Valhalla, which was a Galactic Federation ship that the Space Pirates also stole. And on here is a central AI called the Aurora unit, which is also present in Prime 3. In this mod, it's represented by Mother Brain. So we're expected to do a Mother Brain Phase 1 fight here, where you break the tank, which like takes a ton of missiles, and you have to go through the Zepatites and all that stuff. But we are going to actually skip that. We're going to have to end up doing it a lot later, but we're going to skip it for now with a gate glitch. Now, normally, if you're familiar with vanilla Super Metroid gate glitches, you know that famously you aren't supposed to be able to do them with the button on the right, but here we are doing exactly that, and that's because the gate collision was changed to a different type of tile than it is in vanilla, and the devs were not like, the devs not really intend to do this, but it makes it easier to sneak a beam shot through it.
So here's our first meeting of Ridley, just like at Sarah Station, except this time you'll see if Asder tries to shoot Ridley, he's just impervious, where in the original you could like shoot Ridley 100 times to make him fly away instead of damaging down. And alternatively, instead of entering an escape now, Ridley literally picks you up and throws you out of the spaceport. So there's your first subversion of expectations.
Oh yeah. I'm guessing the free fall is a good time for donations.
I think, yeah, go for it.
Awesome. So we got a $50 donation from Ace Gamer Sam who says merci à tous pour la participation au bingo N64. J'ai eu du fun fou. Dommage, on n'a pas eu Superman 64. Pas mal sûr que la foule n'est pas d'accord avec ça, que ce soit si dommage que ça. Donc après ça, on a eu we got a $500 anonymous donation.
Ooh.
And they say, good luck in your 98.6% run, Ashder.
I wonder who that was. Thanks.
Well, if he doesn't, it's going to be partly my fault, because I literally have on my laptop here the list of items.
Yeah, this is a running joke from prior no reset marathons. Like I run almost a different hack a ROM hack every time I come here, and some of those 100% runs can be really hard to like remember where all the items are. So it's a running joke. I missed 3 items in the previous one.
One could
No,
say
I only
you
missed 1 item in the last one. The one before that was...
No, I missed items in a prior one, like
yes.
a long time ago.
Yes.
Here's the thing. One could say you completely redesigned the concept of 100%.
You have the right runner for that one.
So, if you've noticed here, the gravity is incredibly heavy. This isn't gonna like stay for long, but yeah, the first thing you pretty much find out in the logbook, which is like a new feature for this. There's a logbook similar to the Prime games, where you can find out information about the planet, the enemies, the items you pick up, etc. And yeah, you can pretty much only jump 1 tile high as like while you're under this extreme gravity. So our first stop is going to be the first custom item of the hack, which is the gravity boots, and they're probably the most like powerful items in the game. Even though on a casual playthrough, you pick this up and completely forget about it after.
Because this just seems like kind of a non-item. Basically, it restores your vanilla gravity, and it's just like, oh, it's it's back to like mostly vanilla gameplay. You forget that it is actually an item that exists, that can be turned on and off for various things.
Yeah, and you might have noticed that we talked about the logbook. It actually tells you when a new log happens. Shout outs to A0 for ignoring all those. But yeah, you can, once you see that, you can hit the menu, and there's actually 3 parts of the menu, and one of them is all the logs, which is, I thought, a really fun feature to help you through the hack and just, just the lore in general.
Standard fare here for most Super Metroid ROM hacks, there's obligatory suitless underwater sections.
Yep.
Well, I'm guessing because this game has a custom gravity boots item, that's why they named the gravity suit aqua suit, because then it would be a little bit redundant.
Could be.
So there's 2 gravity items in that game. Let that super sink in.
You were preparing for this, weren't you?
Oh yeah, and we also got a couple of good donations. Let me know if now's a good time.
Yeah, this is fine.
Awesome. So we got 0x64 who donated $8 and says, nice. And then 0x64 came back with $50 and says, I said, nice. And then Metroid MST came back with a $50 donation. Big shout outs to Metroid MST. No offense to Ashder, but maybe have you thought about practicing? I'm not trying to be offensive. I'm just wondering if it's something that could have helped in this run. I'm a Super Metroid coach for some people, at least until Mother Brain.
Yeah, shout outs to a Mother Brain fight from yesterday.
Oh.
Speaking of donations, the incentives, there is an update. I'm pretty sure we don't even have to cut off the Forbidden Room until the end of the run at this point.
That's correct.
And you do want to see Save the Animals. There are routing implications to doing that. And you'll get to see like a little, it's more than just a pixel during the credits sequence. So if you want to see more gameplay,
yeah,
donate for Save the Animals. It's also what Ashder's practiced more than just letting them die.
Well, I would say we can cut Forbidden Room off at the same time as the other incentive at Skirtech.
Oh, there we go.
Just like 2 hours and change in. So you got until then.
So right now we're just heading up into the War Temple here, getting through these Zeptites, and we're on our way to pick up the next sort of custom item in Speedball. So it'll be a functional spring ball.
I don't know if I'd
pretty
call it
much.
sort of. Like half of it's custom, half of it's just normal.
Right, yeah. So it's basically spring ball, but it also allows you to hold the run button and move at run speed while you're in morph. So as opposed to if you're familiar with vanilla Super Metroid and having to mock ball to maintain run speed in morph, you could just hold the run button
I'm
and miss and roll.
Go for this for the meme. This is really hard.
Hey.
Nice.
Oh, let's go. That was completely optional, by the way.
Yeah, a little platform clip there. The part that's hard about it is the uninterruptible down pose is what lets him get into a clipped position, but you have to jump really far in there to get under the platform that doesn't have a wall going up above it.
Yeah, that's like it's faster by so little that like the tool assisted runs will do it, but as a human you're like almost always gonna lose time.
So for now, we are picking up all of these ammo packs. Largely, all the ones that we picked up so far would be faster movement-wise to pick up later, but we want this additional ammo for some of the fights coming up. There's going to be the Bomb Torizo fight.
Oh, nice! I got the clip.
Which uses a bunch of ammo. And there's like a gauntlet of pirates coming up a bit later that you need a bunch of ammo to make the fights go quite a bit faster.
Yeah, the beam starts out incredibly weak. There's we're going to be picking up eventually some damage amps to make it stronger. It's not just the beam. When you get beam upgrades, they don't actually do that much of a damage upgrade. They're more for the effects of what they can do. So right now, ammo is what we really want to be killing some of the harder enemies.
I'm actually going to take this save because this save, there's a mechanic in this game. We'll go into it more later, but the saves can refill a little bit of health depending on a certain other item that we're going to find later. We can go over that later.
Yeah, so without that, this item in question, saves will always refill you back up to 99 energy. So here's bombs and Bomb Torizo. Bombs are normal function. If anything, they are a little bit better because their range when you place a bomb is a bit further than in vanilla Super Metroid, but otherwise their functionality is the same.
Yeah, and it makes it easier to like discover secrets as you're bombing around stuff.
And so far, your typical Bomb Torizo fight.
Rude. He didn't do the farmable attack.
But wait, there's more.
Billy Mays Torizo. And it's not just one, but there's two more.
Yeah, in particular, the farmable attack is not as guaranteed. I mean, most people don't realize, or maybe you do realize, but in a vanilla speedrun, you're only going to have 5 missiles in the Bomb Torizo fight typically. so you don't ever get the crushing attack that's going to happen if you have more.
What was a drop? Excuse me.
I'd like some more, please.
So in this case, we have more ammo to start with, so you're going to not be guaranteed the normal orb attack that you'd expect otherwise.
And then leaving out of here, you're supposed to do a little bomb puzzle in the following room, but we're just probably going to gate glitch again. And next stop will be the Pirate Lab, which is where the pirates are experimenting with this Verdite mineral and Metroids to make weapons, and our mission is to destroy the Pirate Lab through any means necessary. But for now, we're just going to head in there and pick up a couple of more major items to open up more of the world.
I just wanted to say, those means may or may not include blowing up the entire planet.
I mean, that's standard fare for Samus.
Spoilers, you know. So this is why we need a speedball specifically for this spot right there.
You can like infinite bomb jump across, but
Why would you want to?
it's really slow.
Maybe in a low percent category.
There's a really super tight mock ball you can do to get across.
That as well.
That'd be optimal, yeah, in like a low percent where you're skipping speedball. But like spring ball is just so useful everywhere in this hack. Even just having the spring ball functionality. Never mind your ball moving faster. So we're entering into the Pirate Lab.
The first thing you'll see here is a Verdite laser. It'll be this green laser on the ceiling here. This is part of a giant, basically like power grid on the planet that will power certain gates and is going to be like a main, involved in the main story beat of the whole hack. At the moment, it just damages Samus and is impassable without trickery.
It basically functions like a spike, which is actually pretty relevant in any percent for skipping a huge barrier. Yeah, it's basically just does damage right now.
More suitless here. This section, there's two major items that you can get, and you can collect them in either order. It's definitely quite a bit easier to collect high jump first. High jump functions normally like vanilla Super Metroid, and then it's estimated to be a second faster to do it in the other order that Ajra isn't doing, but it also is much more difficult.
You get punished really hard for making mistakes on it.
Exactly. So it's high risk, low reward.
And those are the space pirates we talked about. The little gauntlet of space pirates. To get
Yeah,
through.
they don't drop anything either. So you're just like they take a lot of beam shots. You're just like, really in a bad spot if you run out of missiles there.
And there's the aqua suit, aka gravity suit, but we're gonna call it aqua here because
It's a stack of pancakes.
So does it imply that Samus actually cosplays the band from the 90s? Of the same name?
I'm the wrong person to ask about any music, honestly.
This is a kill everything room, so gotta weave and kill all these pirates to open the door. Do we want to talk about differences in aqua suit versus gravity suit?
Sure, yeah. So, I mean, it is pretty much Gravity Suit, except you don't get the added benefit of all of the defense that Gravity Suit provides in vanilla. I believe it's like 75% for
In
damage
vanilla.
reduction
In
in vanilla,
yep.
where the Aqua Suit in this only provides 25%.
Also, importantly, it does not protect against lava. So we're gonna go back to the water, do a bunch of stuff there.
Nice, let's go.
Yeah, that's the
Hole in one.
hole in one. It's definitely a tough spring ball to get.
But yeah, in a playthrough, it's easy to forget that it's not the normal gravity suit because it looks basically the same. So you gotta be a little careful to not tank damage the way you might in a normal, in a vanilla game.
I'm so bad with that. Like, just seeing purple suit just means I don't have to care about what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Never mind lava damage, just heat in general. You aren't protected from aqua suit.
Can I get the hole in one here? Oh, I landed on that. It's close.
Trophobatic chamber might not be the most difficult room to navigate in the game,
Yo,
but
let's
it is
go.
nice cargo.
Just phased right through that fire fleet like it wasn't even there. You gotta do, you have to change your pose on certain frames to avoid knockback. And it makes that room a lot faster.
I see some comments in the chat about the music. So yeah, there's a lot of custom music in here. This one's from Castlevania, one of the Castlevania games. We have DKC, Majora's Mask, a few others. Plus a lot of the original SM stuff, and even you might have noticed in the ship we had music from the original Metroid. So.
Here in Oceania Surface, the music is. Actually, let's talk about Super Sync. That's more important.
That's coming up now.
Yep. So Super Sync is why I was saying that gravity boots are probably one
really
of the.
hard.
Wow, nice. Yeah, gravity boots are one of the most strong items in this game. The TLDR is that floors are just a suggestion. The simplified way of explaining it is when you fall with gravity boots unequipped or don't have them.
Morph here. Let's see if I got it.
Yep.
Sorry.
Yeah, so when you're falling with gravity boots unequipped or you don't have them collected, it's a faster fall speed cap than or a higher fall speed cap than it is with them equipped. So you can essentially bypass the cap by falling to a certain speed with them off, and then re-equipping them to be past the cap and continue to gain speed while you're falling.
There we go.
Nice. And make sure you go down the correct sand pit.
That would be good.
So the way that worked is Ajda mentioned he needed to hit a pixel perfect unmorph. If you unmorph into a crouch and it perfectly aligns with the ground, you enter a state called Slope Killer, and that allows you to maintain your fall speed value. And so we're doing what I was talking about before by exceeding the cap while grounded. And wiggling back and forth is what lets the fall speed continue to grow and grow until you fall fast enough to go right through any platform of any distance.
So this trick was done for early supers. We're supposed to have gotten a night vision sort of item to navigate this area. I'm actually going to set up another super sync here. I can get Slope Killer for free actually by getting force crouched into a tight space. So that makes this. So it makes some uses of it much easier, but for a lot of them, you have to do the pixel perfect unmorph.
Yeah, getting stuck in a door or jumping into like a 2-tile high space will just give you it without having to be frame perfect.
And this skips quite an annoying room with some rising and lowering lava and some space pirates, and we just don't need to worry about it.
Yeah, you're basically forced into taking lava damage in that room to get through it at all, whether you're going fast or slow. So it's really nice to keep your energy count up just by skipping that room entirely.
This dark room is kind of a pain to get out of at times.
Yeah, it's just as dark for everyone. Like
it's showing up as dark like on the TV and stuff as it would be on stream.
Yep.
Yeah, the room is especially unfortunate because as you can see, it kind of glows in a little bit. And
oh my god, I can't believe I got that
first try. Nice. That is a frame perfect spring ball called foosball.
After Andrew W., formerly known as Fusta.
Yes. It's very tough to get.
Yeah,
you're supposed to route down a sand pit, but the route that I have built doesn't have a trip down there available. So.
Oh, you mean that was not the intended way?
That's the way I did it when I played.
Me too.
But no, not
I did
the
that too. I couldn't
way.
figure out which sand pit to go down to. That's how I did it. I've gone the wrong way here every single practice.
To say, aren't we going? That doesn't
I say
look
about
right.
this ROM hack is that the fact that you get spring ball very early on opens a lot of movement tech that's very interesting, is super satisfying to pull off. Whereas in vanilla, I mean, no matter which route you do, if you do any percent, that's when you'll get the spring ball. It's only towards the latter part of the game, like the last 15% of the game, and it's already gone. So it's very nice when you have a ROM hack that integrates spring ball that early on.
So here's this item that we were talking about earlier, the first one that we get. It's called a refuel tank, and this replaces reserve tanks in this game. So unfortunately, no reserves for anyone. Some people enjoy that, some people don't.
Shoutouts to Metroid MST.
But the way refuel tanks work is every single one you have. Now you can see that since Ajder picked one up, he has a square around the first energy tank. For every refuel tank that you have, you will restore an additional 100 energy at a save station. So there's no, you can't just heal yourself at any time. It only works in tandem with save stations. Hi, Kraid. Bye, Kraid.
and we had to do the 4-missile super kill because
Devs were cheeky and they made Kraid have 1,001 health. Thanks. It had the side effect of, like, if you don't get early supers, it basically makes the missile quick kill way harder. And it's also, I have to navigate up to the door at the top right, which is proving difficult.
Yeah, this room is a 2x2, and the door isn't just in the bottom quadrant. It is up at the top. And there's an overhanging platform there, so it's a little bit difficult to judge.
And there's the dark visor, which has more than just an effect of being able to see in the room. You'll see when it turns on, this little switch here. It was there before, we couldn't see it, but we also, it's not just a matter of being able to see it, you can't interact with it until you actually have the dark visor. And there are switches throughout the run. Not all switches are like that, but there are enough of them in places that, other than using more glitchy type ways of doing things, you need to have the dark visor for. And since we're doing Hundo, there's no reason not to pick it up. Yeah,
Dark Visor, it essentially serves the same function as the game that came from Metroid Prime 2 Echoes. Great game, great randomizer. Just like lets you see visible stuff and makes the screen look like a virtual boy.
Yeah, so there will also be enemies that are invisible. This isn't important to 100% because Dark Visor is being picked up so early. But there are enemies that you can interact with regardless of having the Dark Visor, but they are invisible if you don't equip it or don't have it.
One room specifically comes to mind.
Crab battle.
Crab battle. Yo.
Right now with Kraid taken care of, we backtrack back to the other side of the ocean.
Spring ball is hard to control sometimes.
All right, next up, Wave Beam. It's going to be everybody's favorite boss that we never see, except we see it in this hack.
The layout of this is definitely designed so that you have to get Dark Visor and hit a switch to open a gate to get to where Wave Beam is. But the other side of it is basically cordoned off by 2 gates, which we're able to glitch through and go directly there from left to right, since we're coming from the left here, which is convenient for us. But it also means that you can access that area without needing the Dark Visor, if that is important to whatever you're doing.
Yeah, any percent completely skips Dark Visor nowadays.
Yeah.
So it's useful to note.
While you enter the sport field, is now a good time for a quick donation?
Sure. Yeah, I'm just about to do a right side gate glitch here to accomplish getting in here, but yeah.
Perfect.
Go ahead.
So basically, we got Mobile D who donated $50 and just says E towards Save the Animals. And then C2 donated $10 and says, "Wake up, samurais, we have booty holes to burn." And that's a reference to the hot sauce challenge, which I feel like I need to specify. And towards Kill the Animals.
Yeah, shout outs to Mobile D. I didn't want to be the guy like fan game enthusiast, but also kind of an enthusiast of Super Metroid design runs, which I ran a lot prior.
So here's Spore Spawn, not a DLC boss in this hack.
Notice we're using the dark visor. It is possible to do this fight without the dark visor, but it definitely helps be able to see a little bit better.
And
Nice.
This fight is particularly difficult for Spore Spawn because you get the Mega Man blocks that disappear and reappear, and the room is so big that at the bottom of it you can't even see where Spore Spawn's at.
There we go. Nice 2-round. Classic 2-round. That's how you would do it in vanilla or randomizer if for whatever reason you had to fight Spore Spawn. Yeah. I actually legitimately like this fight. I like the challenge that it poses. I know everyone else hates it.
Not my favorite.
Mega Man 2 blocks can go places.
They do go places and then they come back.
They can stay places then. All right, so the next thing we're going to pick up, we mentioned this earlier, the damage amp. There's more. There's what, 7 of them?
6.
6. Okay. This will be the first one that we are picking up. It's usually not the first one a player will encounter, but is on the paths. The other one that would normally be picked up is just paths better much later.
And yeah, as Tracy mentioned earlier, this is going to be the main way to upgrade the amount of damage that you do. Just a little switch puzzle here. There's some switches down below the screen, and it's just convenient with Wave Beam that you can actually hit them without having to go down there. Otherwise, you'd have to bomb a bunch of blocks and to get closer to the switches.
One of them you have to like push. You have to give your beam momentum so it hits it at a different angle.
But yeah, those damage amps increase your damage by 25% each one you pick up, I believe. Or is it 25 or 50?
It's 50%.
It's 50. Okay.
The difference is very noticeable.
Yeah, as opposed to when you pick up an additional beam, it only adds 10 to your damage for each one that you have equipped, which is a very small amount compared to increasing it by an entire 50%.
Yeah, it has the side effect of Spazer and Plasma being the same damage in this game. Shoutouts to Kip for nerfing Spazer in a randomizer version.
It's worth noting here that these crabs can only be seen with the dark visor on. And in any percent, you would go through this room without being able to see them whatsoever.
And they still hurt, and you still have to kill them.
Yeah.
Crabs hurt. So I am want to say.
So along with Trophobiotic Chamber, this is Epiphragmatic Crag. And those are the 2 winners for hardest room names.
For this room,
this is the real worst room.
So for this room, the difficulty of saying the room is actually equal to the difficulty of navigating it.
Yeah, how many times did you go through it in your initial playthrough?
I didn't find any of the shortcuts with like the later game powerbomb blocks and stuff, and there's Spazer blocks in here for shortcuts later. I found none of them. I think there's even screw tech blocks for a shortcut. This is Isobaric Vent. That room hard requires wave to pass through, so any route that needs to pass through there just needs wave. There are now some like crazy like out of the way super sinks you can do to probably get around here with that wave, but as of now, any percent still gets wave beam. I almost forgot this switch.
So there's that ammo pack there stun locks a lot of first-time players because they think that the switch puzzle is also you're able to get rid of that laser that's in the way, but unfortunately you cannot. That laser will never go away, and we're going to come back later to pick up that ammo because of that reason. It is possible to collect now, but it would just be slow. You'd have to do another super sync and then clip out. It's also dangerous because it's going to cost some health to do it. But here's Spazer. And the main functionality of Spazer is that there are a lot of items and shortcuts that are, like that one, that are locked by Spazer blocks, which are destroyed when you have the Spazer beam equipped. And you literally need to have Spazer beam equipped. Just having it is not enough to destroy the blocks.
Yeah, which gets a bit annoying later in the game when we get Plasma, which is still mutually exclusive as an equip with Spazer, just like vanilla. So there are times when we actually have to menu back to Spazer after getting Plasma just so we can open some Spazer blocks.
This is one of the more annoying ammo packs to pick up.
Very reminiscent of, I guess, spooky missiles from Vanilla X ship, with the ship powered on.
Yeah, you know, right now the ship is powered on. We'll see it in a different state later.
Just passing through Pirate Lab here again, collecting some items along the way, but this is the path to our ultimate destination for our next major item, which is the Life Temple. We're now in Lomer Valley, just a big wide open area, and we'll be coming back this way after collecting what we need.
Wow, the key hunters actually died. How about that?
Yeah, since the wings of key hunters are separate enemies, they tend to just eat missile shots or whatever you're trying to do to the key hunters themselves, and it's basically luck whether or not you can hit them. We're seeing another super sync. This is a slightly different setup, but you're still needing to hit a frame perfect unmorph.
And yeah, go ahead.
It's hard to tell if you got it too in a lot of cases.
Yeah, and this one's really important because this item we can't get normally until we get power bombs much later in the run. So it's just easier to route it now.
And what's nice is when we come back to this room later, the tube will still be intact. Where if it wasn't, and you missed the jump, you're probably going to take damage from something like the spikes or the flower enemy thing. And there's Vile Plume, yeah. And there's a crumble block there, those crumble blocks, and you end up having to loop all the way back around. It's a pretty punishing mistake to make, so yeah, the tube being intact solves that problem.
So we get the unknown item. We'll know what that is pretty soon. Spoilers, or if you can't figure that one out, you probably haven't played a lot of SM. We also get this small ammo tank.
Yeah, lots of item collection here. We're not getting absolutely everything in Life Temple. It is possible to do so, but just route-wise, there's
a super sync, route-wise, and also there's a super sync that you'd have to do to skip power bombs for another tube item that is, it's one you can really easily soft lock on.
And much easier to route in later.
I believe that's our first Excel charge.
It's our first Excel charge.
So once the charge beam is picked up, it charges incredibly slowly, and you need to pick up these Excel charges to increase the speed in which you get a full charge on your beam. I believe it was another Metroid game that first featured Excel charges.
Yeah, allegedly, yes. Metroid game may or may not actually exist. It was other M.
The other M.
All right, so now we're going to go down to the heart of the jungle? It's going to be right here. Jungle's heart.
Yep, and we get our first, or our next obligatory ROM hack thing, using one of the animals to destroy blocks to progress in a puzzle. We're going to open up all these gates here so the Decor can get a super Shine Spark charge.
Did I say super sync?
A super sync charge, yeah. A Shine Spark charge to let us progress through this room.
Malodorous recess. This room stinks.
And here's our cute friend, Crocomire. Although we're going to go to the left here because they decided to put Speed Booster in this room.
Yeah, this is my favorite boss fight change. Normally, if you're playing this for the first time, you're gonna do the normal thing. You're gonna probably use Charge Beam. If not, you have plenty of ammo to push Crocomire to the right and assume that he's gonna fall into the acid. Fun fact: there's a set of blocks there that stop him from moving all the way back, and then they do give you little hints because there's speed blocks there that show up, and then you go okay, so then you go back to the left and you find the speed booster, and most people figure out pretty quickly what to do next. Or if not, the log, I think, kind of tells you.
Yeah, I guess it's important to note that, like, if you're a more casual player and aren't practiced or know about short charging, you would have to fight Crocomire pretty much normally to push him back to give you enough room to shine spark. But yeah, for speedrunners, needs is plenty of space to short charge and immediately kill Crocomire.
You know, speaking of casual players, one of the fun things about this hack, it kind of has a thing for everybody. For more advanced players, there's stuff that can be unlocked. I will not go any further than that. But for beginner players, there is an easy mode, so you can kind of pick and choose. This is just normal mode right now, so. Yeah,
there is a hard mode, which is separate from what Tracy was alluding to. But there's also a hard mode that unlocks that the enemies do more damage, and they give you fewer invincibility frames, so you can just get like comboed by everything. The enemies also move faster, so it's pretty crazy. It's not like your typical hard mode that just makes them tanky.
Can I interrupt you for once again?
Yeah.
Yeah, so just to say that we have reached 12K. So we have to reach this milestone. Some donations, thank you all.
The known item.
Yeah, so we're getting space jump here. Do you want to talk about that, Sean?
Sure. So the unknown item that we picked up before is actually called a space jump boost. In this game, space jump gives you one single extra jump in the air, and for every space jump boost that you pick up, you get an additional one. And you'll see those 2 green tick marks near the dark visor in the HUD next to the ammo count.
Let's go Veranda Spark. Oh, yeah. This isn't a demo reel, by the way. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, it's also literally known as the demo spark. The 2 ticks next to the ammo count represent your charges of space jump. And early on, you really only need like 2 or 3 to make use of space jump. But
it's nice to have more. And
yeah.
they are pretty slow to come back, at least initially. As you get more, the first few will be slower to come back, and the rest of them will be faster. Right now, we only have 2. So, and really, you're only supposed to have 1 at this point. So it's another thing that gets new players when they get to this room in particular. You're trying to do space jump, and it just feels like space jump's broken. But no, it's actually a really nice space jump. They fixed the issues in the original game. It feels more like water, space jumping in water in Meridia than it does in just the regular areas, the rest of the areas in the game. And of course, with respin, you get extra use. But if you don't have those little green tick marks, it means you don't have any space jump boosts left, so you're not going to be able to do it.
This room, Volner Canyon, is super awkward to climb, like, no matter how many space jumps you have.
yeah, there's several pass through, and they're all hard to remember. And just in case you weren't paying attention, just your health.
Yeah, I forgot to take that refill. That's okay, we'll make it work.
We're about to head to Sky Temple, which has a somewhat different inclusion of cold damage. It's similar to heat damage, but it ticks very slowly.
This damage boost is easy, by the way.
This damage boost is impossible outside of practice. Don't let him tell you otherwise.
Oh my,
See?
you cursed me!
Told you.
You cursed yourself.
Well, while we're going through cargo transit, we got a $50 donation from Metroid MST who says, I can't believe you. You shine sparked into Crocomire and made him die in a crocofire. Now we'll have to build a crocopire so people can properly admire my cosplay in Crocotire.
Bars.
Nice.
Will
my
the
brain
real
couldn't even
slim
process that.
MST please stand up?
I'm gonna safety save here because I forgot to refill health because we're gonna be experiencing cold damage here, and yeah, there are refuel tanks in action as well, so that helps a little bit.
Don't forget the refuel tank.
Yeah,
Speaking of that,
Grand Promenade refuel tank. It's the one after Varia soon.
Okay, yeah, I gotta get it on the way out.
something to mention here is we are going to be super syncing again. This one is pretty special because we're essentially backdooring this area. You would normally go up the other elevator to Sky Temple first. But this backdoor will ultimately allow us to get Varia suit early, and well, I guess it's not so much that it's early, but we'll be able to skip Fantoon entirely. So unfortunately, if you're a fan of the Elephant Ghost, you will not be seeing him in this run today.
There's quite an interesting sequence.
I don't think anyone was a fan of the Elephant Ghost.
Yeah, there's quite an interesting sequence that you're supposed to do to get to this item. It would still be, basically the next major item.
There we go.
But
This one is like
skip that.
scary because you're taking damage doing it. So if you keep like not getting the super sync, this killer frame, it's really scary. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, and there's actually 2 elevators up to the Sky Temple, and you're usually going to go up the other way. This side just gets you nothing normally. So.
Some of the enemies here are scary as well, so watching your health is pretty important.
They do actually give you a refill spot. Actually, it makes if you, I suppose if you go through the wrong door first, you can there's actually some refill bucks, and then you get Varia suit, and you'll realize you wasted your time.
Those armory rooms remind me of, in Super Mario Brothers 2 when you go down a pipe and you've got this little underground room?
Oh, yeah, yep. No masks following us around after, though.
Yeah, at least. Can you imagine? Like, mini Fantoons just following you across the map?
Sounds terrible. Okay, now we're going to get that refuel tank.
Yep, so Varia suit gained here not only protects us from heat damage, it protects us from the cold damage as well.
Nice ceiling clip.
It's going to give us an additional 25% damage reduction on top of environmental damage protection. It still doesn't protect us from acid or lava damage, but...
Refill tank.
Oh, I was focusing so hard on the...
Just go back. Just go back up the elevator.
But I unequipped gravity boots. Sorry. Okay, whatever. I'll go back. Not have to think about it for the rest of the run.
Yeah. He skipped this last night in practice, and you did.
Yeah. The thing is, like, I've been indecisive on whether I want to get this refuel tank before or after Varia suit because there's pros and cons to both, and like the movement is weird for both. And so if you're indecisive, just why not get it neither time, right? That works.
Here's the thing: if you don't get it now, I'm 98.7% sure you won't get it at all.
That's not true, actually. There's a way to route that back in much later. I just don't want to have to think about it for the next 2 hours.
Okay, now you can turn your gravity boots off and go down the elevator.
Distracted by a 48 frame optimization for the menu.
Exactly, yeah. So as I just said, when you menu after having activated the elevator going down, it saves 48 frames on the transition or just on the movement down the elevator.
It makes it so that the transition happens as soon as Samus's sprite touches the door tiles instead of her having to go all the way off the screen. I don't really know why that is, and it only works on downward elevators, but that happens if you menu.
And now for the toughest puzzle in the game, some would say. I've seen people get stun locked on this for like an hour because they've forgotten that the gravity boots are a thing. And this is the main intention for turning off, like having gravity boots as an item. This is the one item you practically need to remove the gravity boots to get.
Yeah, practically. Some people manage to do it without, but I mean it's probably gonna, unless you can get it first try, it's probably just not worth.
Yeah, you basically have to moonfall and also quick fall.
You don't have to moonfall.
To skip the.
I brute forced that puzzle in the earlier version of the game. They made the gates actually move faster on the latest version in response to that.
Oh, okay. Back through service sector again. This time we're going to be heading to another new area, the Hive and the Fire Temple. The next main item that we're getting is going to be the Ice Beam. Nice.
This is nice to like keep your speed booster effect without bonking through that door because those blocks on the girder on the other side are speed blocks. So if you go face first into them, you just go through them. It helps with getting down. Also looks cool.
Yeah, and actually, at this point in the game, a new runner might end up. I've seen both picking up Ice Beam first or Power Bombs first. There's pros and cons to which one to pick up. We've so far right now settled on Ice Beam before Power Bombs.
So this is Hive entrance. This is the worst check in Echoes randomizer. But yeah, like a lot of the room names are inspired or reused even from mostly Metroid Prime, but also like a few references to other games here and there. Oh, that sucks. I want to like avoid. I want to get a specific bounce there that avoids the red key hunter because they do 100 damage to Varia. They're literally the same as the lower Norfair key hunters in vanilla. There's a short charge. I'm gonna try and do pretty short charge. If you know vanilla Super Metroid speedrunning, you know how hard some of the like really short speed booster charges are. Oh my goodness.
Close. Yeah. Missing it just means take another 100 damage and now have to maybe add some eggshells to walk on through the rest of Fire Temple.
It'd be a bigger deal in any percent if I got
for sure.
hits.
Yeah.
Do we have time for a quick donation?
We got, let's see if I get X Games Gold first. Oh, let's go.
Oh,
yes.
Let's go.
Nice. All right, yeah, go ahead.
All right, so we got a $15.98 donation by Avisham who says, let's get that bonus run in. Also, nice number, which brings us to 12345.67.
Nice.
Well done. Well done.
Based.
Now let's get it to 7654321.
That sounds awesome.
So, Fire Temple.
Oh, I don't think we ever mentioned with the Varia suit. Notice that now we look like we have Varia suit. The Varia suit palette overwrites the gravity palette, which I don't think we see in we don't see that.
Yeah,
in
you
very
basically
many.
never see that. That's another subversion of the normal expectations.
Which I think
Nice.
kind
Nice.
of. Ooh, very nice.
That's really good. That's really good for avoiding damage from those key hunters.
And that
Laggiest room in the game right here, the Dust Teresa.
yeah, that is classified
Actually,
as
no,
a boss.
that's like the second laggiest. I think the laggiest is main engineering, and later on we'll point it out later.
Yeah, but yeah, that's technically a boss. Very easy to miss that it's a boss.
I hope I get this straight.
Just kill it.
Do we know why it's
Nice.
marked as a boss room? Is there a specific reason?
I think you actually have to shoot out the Dust Teresa for the door to open.
Yeah, it's a great door.
They've somehow managed to avoid the Dust Teresa. The door won't be open.
Hey, like, it's marked as a boss on the map, which I actually never noticed. But if you're paying attention to the map when you're like first playthrough of the game, you expect a boss coming there. It is kind of like tense.
And that plant thing, I never remember the name.
Garen.
Yeah, so that's the biggest reason we need Ice Beam. Any percent gets the Ice Beam for a different reason, but you can't kill those without the Ice Beam, which means there are various places where it gates things, and you can't progress unless you can kill them.
Yeah,
So I'm gonna get bit
there's
more
a few
health.
different Garens in where they come from. Metroid Fusion take different items to destroy, but in this game, all of them are only destroyed with Ice Beam and ammo.
Running out of space jumps there is not ideal.
Right, just getting the last item that we'll collect in the Hive for now. We'll be revisiting the Hive quite a few times. as
The
there's a-
demo reel's a bit perplexing in that room because you spawn between the two Garians with no items, and you don't actually have a way in or out.
Also, you forgot to jump at that refuel tank.
Yeah, any percent. Like it's
I
every
get
any
it now.
percent runner is always gonna run and get that refuel tank when they should be skipping it. Just forget that it's there. It's also kind of hard to see. But of course, in 100, we need to get them all. All right, next major stop is going to be the Verdite Mine, which is, for the namesake, the main story beat. This is where the pirates are mining out the radioactive mineral called Verdite that they've been using to create those green lasers that power the whole planet.
Yeah, some of the rooms have it in its raw form in like green crystals, which the collision for it is actually like super annoying to navigate through.
That and maybe you could turn on the dark visor just for a brief second to show off what happens when you're in a room.
Yeah.
You don't have
Let's
to
see
if you
there's
don't
a
want
good time to
to.
do that. Yeah, I can try.
I don't
Oh,
think
let's-
I've ever done it since I've been playing this game. I didn't even know there was a thing.
Yeah,
Just
it's,
you wait.
First, we got to grab lava pool here, which is scary.
Yeah, so not only are you taking lava damage, which is very rapid, there's these red fish, and they have a bajillion health and do a bajillion damage. Touching one is near certain death.
Okay.
Also notice we still move freely through the lava, but we still take damage. Whereas in vanilla, you're moving freely, but with gravity suit, you're not taking damage.
Gonna go for, yeah, so if you get lucky and just happen to time it right, you'll be able to freeze that enemy and clip up through the platform and not have to wait for the shack tool there.
And it's very rare to actually hit that. I hit it in practice the other day, and I like screamed.
Yeah, you did.
Gate puzzle here. This is an icy tank spot for health refill for magma lake, because we're gonna want quite a bit of health there for some lava baths. Oh yeah, I'll show off the dark visor stuff here. So
Okay.
this is what happens if you turn on dark visor in a room that has raw Verdite in it.
I'm glad I didn't try that.
Shoutouts to Aussie101 who played a lot of the game with it, even in those rooms.
Cycle skip. Oh,
Nice! Wow,
Let's
that's
go.
really
There's
tough.
no cue for that. It's insane.
Well, I mean, you know, another cause to celebrate. We just got a $500 anonymous donation that came in, so let's go. Woo!
Another super sync getting performed here. This is actually a really important one because otherwise we'd have to wait for this shack tool on the right to destroy all of the blocks and get by. It's a pretty big time save there.
Yeah, and the shack tool just being there creates a ton of lag, which is why I killed the first one. That room is supposed to be like the biggest Varia suit gate. You're supposed to wait for that second shack tool. You're taking heat damage here, and it's supposed to be the reason that like a casual player would not be skipping Varia.
Yeah, there's several locations you can get to before you get to the berry suit, and it's not unusual to have a small heat run in a ROM hack, so it becomes...
So also we're supposed to be doing a gold chorizo fight here, which to lower the lava here, which I'm just gonna skip for now.
Yeah, there's a few different ways to skip this, since Azure doesn't use Moonfall, Moonwalk. There's a Moonfall you can do into where he's going. Since he doesn't use it, we're gonna just go through the lava, take a little bit of damage.
Yeah, there's a super sync alternative within this glass tube here that lets us get directly to the next major item, which is power bombs.
And it's kind of funny, until you break the tube, the lava damage doesn't actually activate, and there's even a bit of a delay as the tube is breaking for the lava damage to kick in.
And it's like Wile E. Coyote lava, so to speak.
But yeah, normally there's a couple of acid chorizos to lower the acid, which we're just gonna skip. The first one behind Golden Chorizo, so we can't completely skip Golden Chorizo, but we can come back and fight him when we're much more powerful later on.
I just gotta say, acid chorizo sound trippy.
It does, doesn't it? But yeah, we talked briefly about the music. Heading back up here, we're gonna get to the music that I think is maybe the most controversial in terms. I like it. I think a lot of people like this.
Oh
No, it's
yeah.
not.
So
Yeah, this is the one.
the magma lake music was Brio from Metroid Prime 3 Corruption, but the Verdite mine was from Stone Tower Temple from Majora's Mask, and a lot of people say it does not like fit this area very well, which I kind of agree with, but I like the track so much that I just don't really care.
Yeah, I like the track a lot too.
Well, in the context of this marathon, I mean, by the end of this run, we need to reach 15K to unlock Majora's Mask, so I think
know.
it's perfectly fitting.
I actually thought that was really cool in the schedule. And we're actually going to seg right into an area with another Majora's Mask track. So the energy plant coming up uses the Great Bay Temple theme, which is actually very fitting because the rooms are extremely puzzly, just like Majora's Mask Great Bay Temple.
And I like it personally because it's in that one because it has a very industrial feel to
Oh,
me.
I didn't open the door.
And that the area is very industrial.
But yeah, next stop is the geothermal energy plant, and that is where all of the lasers that you've been seen strewn around the planets are originating from. And probably the biggest mechanic that's special to this hack is we will be turning the power on and off, or we'll be able to turn the power on and off from there. The room itself that contains the switches is, there's one switch that turns it on, one switch that turns it off, and they're separated by screw attack blocks. So as you can see, that gate opened with the laser. Those gates will no longer open up. There's more than just that one. And it's going to force different pathing throughout the planet if you turn the power off.
This room is really, really complicated as a casual.
Yeah, shout outs to those of us that tried moving those blocks at the bottom to interrupt the lasers. Doesn't work, but instead the puzzle's not too bad. I like this room a lot, the way the lasers take their time to leave.
Very visually appealing too, with the hatchwork in the middle.
Yep.
Yeah, the other mini boss of that room is remembering that the dark visor makes invisible things appear even though the room is not dark itself.
So now we're gonna get grapple beam, and you might say, why do we need grapple beam when we have space jump? Well, the puzzle to get out of here will explain that.
Pretty sure this is new to this hack, but these switches with grapple beam will open up gates nearby.
Yeah, they're technically enemies and not grapple blocks at all, so
Oh, that's neat.
yeah. I gotta remember to go back for this energy tank. I
got
forget
my
this
eye
one
on
pretty
it.
often.
I've got my eye on it.
So as you can see, like just above in that room, and here the lasers are sort of in the way and forcing like one path through. And once the power is turned off, now there will be more ways to go. And there it is, generator deactivated.
Okay, go get the energy tank.
This is definitely very reminiscent of when you kill Fantoon and the power goes out, except just now we have a switch and can toggle it back and forth.
Oh, you can't toggle it forth.
Yet.
Yeah.
Not currently, no, but we will be later.
Yeah, that's a whole other thing. The other switch for it is in the same room, but the two sections of the room were divided by screw attack blocks, so you're not supposed to be able to do it at will until like much later.
And funny enough, you talk about the pre-Fantoon wreck ship where, you know, the save room doesn't work before you kill Fantoon. In fact, now that we've turned the power off, the save room, particularly in the save rooms mostly work except the one in the pirate lab ship. See that all the time. People try and save when they go back there.
Round two with this key hunter. It's the same one that I failed the short charge on earlier. There we go.
Also, Placid Pool. So I
Thank
know that's
you.
one you often forget. So let's
Oh,
just
I
put it
have
out
no
there.
ammo. That's
Aren't there zeros coming up?
oh, yeah, okay, yeah. That's right.
Yeah, fun story. He was practicing this the other day and got here without the ammo that he would need to get through this their Placid Pool room where we're going to pick up the next item. And went for a super sync, but then got stuck. Because still need to get out.
No, that wasn't the
No, it
problem. There's a way out. I overdid the super sync and I fell through the floor.
Gotcha. Well, yeah, that was literally the one moment I wasn't watching because I had just gotten a meal delivered to my hotel room.
I thought I was being so smart with the with the super sync because you can get out. There's a ceiling clip to get out. But yeah, so the Placid Pool is a room that you pass through after you get Ice Beam on the way to Power Bombs, and then once you also have Power Bombs, you need both items to be able to unlock the ammo tank that's in that room. So a small detour to farm for... the amount of ammo that I have in this part actually varies pretty wildly.
Yeah, small detour to get ammo, to go do a small detour to get ammo.
And then a small detour to donations, maybe?
Sure.
There's a ceiling clip that I wanted to do to get out.
There you go. Well, we got a $20 anonymous donation for Save the Animals, and then a $4.02 donation by 0x64 for Kill the Animals.
Yeah, since we just turned the power on and off, and speaking of animals, if you do want to see the additional content of saving the animals, then that's going to be related to turning the power on and off, and that we're going to have to make a detour back here to be able to save them.
It's a detour that extends beyond just what you do in the escape.
And beyond that, I gotta say the gap is closing because right now, Save the Animals is at $17.21 and 66 cents, whereas Kill the Animals at $25,420. So we're gaining some ground.
Let's see if I can get this. Okay.
Nice hold.
Oh, it was so close.
Oh, got the first
Getting
part.
through it all is still like insane though. Oh my goodness. That's so hard to be consistent at.
Yeah, ideally he stays in the ball and goes through the blocks as well, but everything else looked really good.
Yeah, not even getting through that last set of blocks, it's still incredibly difficult to perform.
Yeah.
I still feel a Metroid MST donation coming in saying, "Why didn't you practice this?" Blah blah blah. You know.
Yeah, shut up, MST.
Go bother Cutie.
Preemptive shut up.
I mean, like it's it's easy to gloat and say it now after I got past that trick.
I'm not trying to got him into doing another donation. I'm not doing that. What are you talking about?
It's easy to say whatever you want when you already know that you won.
Okay, now this is a damage amp we were talking about earlier. This is usually the first one you pick up, but it's just easy. It routes better now because we're gonna.
On the first trip to Pirate Lab, there's a giant laser here that blocks a very suspicious area, and if you're reading your logbook, you're hinted towards that it's very important that you find a way past this laser.
And you could spike suit through it. That's easy
Yeah,
to
you
do,
could.
right?
Yeah. Any percent route just like skips going to the generator entirely. Skips grapple. Has to do a really dumb ice clip here. You have to babysit an enemy for like 3 minutes or 2-3 minutes.
Yeah, in fact, that's the reason any percent needs. Is there any other reason for any percent to pick up ice beam?
I don't think so.
Yeah. So.
I need another ammo shot.
Yeah, you do.
I'm sure I'll get one, but just to make sure I oh my goodness, I ran out of space jumps at such a bad time.
So if you were paying attention, we've already been here. This is the very start of the game, Spaceport. That's what we've come back for. But now with more weapons and upgrades that we have, we can explore more of the ship, or all of the ships.
And the ship has a bunch of items, but fear not.
Please give me a missile drop, please. Okay. Really? Okay,
There
we
it is.
go.
You're good.
All right. All right, so we got Metroids in this room. These are actually pretty tough to deal with efficiently, so I want to group them and bomb them off me, and they take multiple shots to freeze them is the thing, depending on like how good your beam is. So actually, the fact that they stayed grouped like that is insane. They tend to split apart and be really tough to deal with.
And what? Yes.
We got the Metroid suit now, which was Subversion devs actually like technically they thought of it first. They coded the spec in 2017 because this hack has been worked on for so long, but unfortunately their final product came out after Dread, which already had a Metroid suit. So it's a little unfortunate, but.
Yeah, the fun thing about the Metroid suit. So first of all, if you go to your menu before you get it. It does not telegraph that there's another suit, although it's not unusual to be suspicious, given how early you get the other suits and that they don't quite do everything that you might expect them to do.
Yeah, I didn't pick up on this at all. I was absolutely not expecting a third suit because
Yeah,
I trusted the boundaries of the menu to not lie to me.
Yeah, I totally expected another suit, but I thought it was going to be for cold damage and got really confused, and Varia also protected from cold damage.
Another subversion of expectations right there.
Yep. Metroid suit does several things. For us, the first thing it does is going to allow us to go through lava, and we're going to see that. We're actually going to see that demonstrated a little bit, but it also is going to let us. The big thing it's going to let us do is let us go through lasers, And
Yeah, Verdite lasers. It's actually in the lore in this game is that it's made of part Verdite and part Metroid.
And then finally, it's going to give us access to the hyper beam while we're in lasers or in little sparks, Verdite sparks.
So we're gonna pass through a laser in the next room.
Yeah, if you watch, oh, I guess that's not going to show up with that charge beam. Never mind. Yep. We'll point out when we get to charge beam, but it actually puts a little glow spot where the charge beam charger that we can't see right now is going to be. In the meantime, we're going to escape the ship because we're going to blow it up.
Yeah, we've basically like activated the docking, which is ripping the ships.
This is the laggiest room in the game, by the way. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's really laggy.
If you make a mistake at that room, your time loss is magnified so much. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, you're literally ripping the ships apart by doing this, and it's going to cause the cargo ship and the GFS Daphne to crash down to the planet.
And don't worry, all the items that we're not picking up right now will be available in other locations.
Yeah, they like crash. The items crash land in various places on the planet. You have to go find them all, and it is actually faster to get pretty much all of them in the crash state on the planet instead of running around in the spaceport to get them right now.
Well, while you're finishing your escape sequence into going into the little cutscene that's going to happen afterwards, I'd just like to remind people we're almost at the halfway point here, and we're just a little bit over $3,000 short. I can't math. $2,000 short of unlocking Majora's Mask bonus run with Skull Kid 64. So keep those donations coming. Plus, we have more hot sauce goodness. We're actually $130.31 away from the Forbidden Room. And then the bonus run is exactly $2,130.31. And more hot sauce tiers are getting unlocked at that point.
Wait, the run's not over here?
Yeah, chat, you can give us exactly 1 G.
I had to look at our stream operator because his finger was going towards it. And I'm like, no.
That's actually really funny.
Don't forget to ship refill.
Oh, thank you. I would have forgotten.
Actually, funny thing enough, the way we programmed our timer, we have a contingency. If that happens, it keeps running in the background. So if you just unstop the timer, it goes to where it would have been. So we don't lose the time. Unless we hit the reset button, then, you know. It's all
That
done.
save actually wasn't necessary. The game auto-saves here because it thinks you're crashing Sirius Station.
Yeah, this is essentially the series save. So yeah, I wanted to check out all the items in the area, and I blew up the ship. I'm like, oh, this is fine. I can just reset if I miss something. And I went to reset, and we're like, well,
Guess not.
guess not.
These are Spazer blocks, by the way, blocking this Excel charge down here. So there's a special type of block that, like, if you bomb it, it reveals the Spazer block, and it's a graphic of like the yellow S, but with like Samus's gun and an arrow pointing from Samus's gun to the S, and it's like. I think we're basically never going to get to see that graphic in the run because I have to bomb a block to reveal the tile type, and it's just not fast to do. You'll see it if you play this hack, which I'd highly recommend it, even though we've spoiled basically all of it at this point.
Not quite all of it.
Yeah, good amount.
I think there's enough that we haven't spoiled that I think anyone watching could still have a good time playing it.
Yeah, it's still a good time, but like it's a very, very good unspoiled playthrough,
It
which
really
is
is.
like Am I supposed to have 150 here?
Yes.
Okay.
Impact Crater
Nice.
Alpha small ammo tank was the last one you picked up, right? That's 150.
Okay.
Now we're gonna go get Charge Beam.
So, fun fact about Charge Beam is
It's been
There's-
available for a while.
it's been available, and you can also peek it from a different room. And the room that you're actually peeking at is different from the room that you would normally collect Charge Beam. But as luck may have it, either room you can collect the Charge Beam from. But the door that's there, if you come in from this room, doesn't work properly.
So we're gonna super sync to it, but then into like the peak window. But we actually also, if we do this, we have to also super sync out.
And that will be completely blind, or well, not completely blind, but with the camera maligned here.
Yeah, as the camera doesn't know to follow you in here, so you don't get to see the room, unfortunately.
Yeah, there's just a Chozo statue here with the charge beam was being held by it, and we're...
I gotta be really careful with this second one. You can really easily just fall out of bounds here. Okay.
All right, nice.
Yeah,
I
funny
have
enough.
to fix the camera so my beam shots actually will hit this gate. There we go.
Funny enough, the charge beam is one of the more commonly sequence broken items for first playthroughs because
Just with the gate glitch, not with the
yes,
super
yes,
sync.
not with the super sync, but
It's supposed to like require wave and supers. But yeah, go on.
But yeah, oh, that's what I was gonna say. Yeah, the supers you can't really sequence break without super sync, but you can. There's a gate glitch, very large gate that can be glitched to get it early. Actually, it's not even that much earlier than you would normally get it, because then usually the next thing you get is wave beam anyway.
Yeah.
In case it wasn't made clear before, there are some super sync spots where you can actually clip by doing a moonfall, and then unequipping the gravity boots. On top of that, you fall really fast. But if you don't play with Moonwalk on, you don't have access to that. Luckily, we do have super syncs to make up for that and allow, you know, us ancient players that don't use Moonwalk, that
To be
haven't
competitive.
adapted. Yeah, to be competitive, exactly.
Actually, funny thing is, like, the reason I first picked up the 100% speedrun over any percent is that it was like much more feasible to compete without using Moonwalk. Now it's basically pretty viable for both categories, but Moonfall, like Super Moonfall with gravity boots off, you had a huge advantage in any percent for a while.
Do we have time for a quick donation?
Yeah.
So we got a $30.31 anonymous donation saying Peter Pan a fait pipi dans le pot de Pepperman puis a appelé la police sur son album de Paul Piché.
You said that
I'm
really
not even
fast.
sure. I actually understood what that meant. I'm not even sure myself.
Trop vite.
So back to see our Shack Tool friends again. This time we don't actually have to super sync.
Friends, sure. So you can get this item on the way out of Magma Lake with power bombs much earlier, but if you get it on the way back down here, you have the opportunity to kill the Shack Tool while doing so, and that reduces the ton of lag that you get from power bombing the door. So that's like the tiny consideration for the route optimization. I can't believe that room
Wow.
one super clean. That room is so hard. Actually, it's way harder than it looks, and just goes wrong so easily. It's so awkward. Yeah, in Magma Lake here, we're going to be picking up like a couple items that we left behind before. There's a space jump boost that's ice beam locked over to the left here that is also a good farm spot, but the reason I didn't get it earlier is that I can just make better use of an ammo farm here now for an upcoming fight. And this also, when you're passing the elevator again, you have more run speed to go towards an item on the right side as well. And then after that, we're doing the Gold Chorizo fight that we were supposed to do like way back when we first were in this area. We're still not draining the lava though, because that's actually still really slow. The only reason that we're fighting Golden Chorizo is because there's an ammo pack in the room, and that's literally it.
I mean, we have Metroid suit now. We don't need to lower the lava.
Yeah.
Oh, very close. There's
I didn't really try for it. But yeah, you can. There's an insane like speedball straight through that's insanely precise, and I forgot to equip Dark Visor for this completely pitch black room.
Yeah, this is probably the worst room to try and get through without Dark Visor. So.
The darkest room in the game.
Yep.
It's a nice speedball out of here if I can. That ceiling kind of sucks.
Kinda.
Okay. There's a way you can get like blue out of here with your. You go straight through that blocks of speed booster.
So with Gold Chorizo coming up, mostly the same as normal. The only difference is they made considerations to stop the cheese strat that you would do in vanilla.
The safety strat where you just crouch in the right position and just sit there and use spam charge beam. Not quite as safe as what we're used to.
Another thing too here is Gold Turismo is a bit more accurate with catching these and throwing them back at you, the super missiles. So it's not always that GT will throw them directly back at you, but it's pretty likely.
I'm actually in a nice cheese spot here, except now he starts throwing crescents. The hitbox is like a little bit changed so that not all of his attacks are able to be saved from just by standing in one spot.
And here's our first instance of thing that a lot of hacks include with charge beam is the tractor effect.
It's from the Prime games.
Yeah.
And not only can we go through lava, we can actually see better in lava now with the Metroid suit as well.
Yeah, it does the soft fade effect that I think Zero Mission does with a lot of its transitions to like an underground or hidden area.
Yeah, fun fact, that came from the original Metroid.
Oh, did it?
Yeah. I mean, it's not as it doesn't have the same phase effect, but the fake lava will disappear.
So this is Volner Route, which I'd asked Sean to talk about it, but he said it's beyond his pay grade because you don't go here in any percent.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just basically come down here as the way of getting to. This is how you have to get back to the power plant in the direction that you need to turn the power back on. And what you're supposed to do is do a Dragon fight here, which is it would be skippable if it weren't Hundo, but we get plasma beam here. I did a trick shot for a gate there that's supposed to be blocked by a plasma barrier. So the plasma barrier is like a shutter that's kind of like an enemy, and if you can get the shot past the enemy that's supposed to block it before the enemy comes on screen, then you can shoot the gate without using plasma. Now for that gate, you're supposed to run around and do a lengthy tunnel and hit the switch, but there's a gate later that's supposed to be completely plasma blocked that you can use the same technique to shoot through. We're getting plasma anyway because of Hundo, but it is actually quite trivial to skip plasma beam in most contexts.
And of course, as is common in these hacks, we change the Dragon room so that we cannot shoot out the turrets, so they keep shooting at us, and we can't use a grapple quick kill. This room also makes it very hard to short charge. You saw that he got some short charges earlier, but it's a very, very tight short charge there, and so he may or may not be able to use them. So it essentially, for most of us, becomes like just an ammo kill.
Nice.
Let's go.
Yeah, short of not getting any
It's
shine
easy when I
swipes,
don't need it.
Fried
You
shrimp,
got it at the
anyone?
beginning, you got it at the end. I don't know.
Well, to celebrate, we got a $20 donation by 0x64 saying, we're very close to the Forbidden Room incentive. Let's do this. And they donated towards Kill the Animals.
I mean, yay.
They
but
want you to
also-
do less work, I guess.
We do want to save the animals, you know? We do want to, we want to see it. The people has the right to see it. Like, what's going on with this ROM hack?
Yeah. Also, like for the Majora's Mask run coming up.
Oh yeah.
It's like if you like the custom tracks in this and want to hear more of two particular ones, you want to unlock that Majora's Mask run.
Where are we on the Forbidden Room?
We're $80 away.
Yeah. We're at $12,920 exactly. And
Yeah.
In fact, my little computer screen is blacking out the number there.
And also save is at $1,721.66.
Speaking of, I should go save. This is extremely dangerous.
Yeah, go save the game, and we'll save the animals. How's that? And then, you know, Kill the Animals still in the lead, though, with $2,560.20.
Oh, hang on. Did you get the generator manifold?
That's in.
Oh,
the
yeah,
power
that's the
plant.
next one.
So,
Oh, the Excel charge. That was the one. But that's after this. Okay, I know where you're at.
Yeah, there's a very scary blue fish in the next room that I really did not want to die to. Or it's red fish, sorry. But the blue fish are also insane. Okay, yeah. So
that would have been death.
Yeah.
Good call. Okay, now we're back on track.
But yeah, just as a reminder, there is more than the usual
Nice.
that happens when you save the animals in this ROM hack. So please do. We actually do want you to save the animals in this. Although it is faster to skip that. There's stuff to be shown.
All right, so this gate puzzle here.
It's
that-
pretty tough without switching your beam to only Spazer to hit all of them at once.
So yeah, a nice little bomb strat though that you can use that he did.
Okay, so we're done with Volner Route now and heading back up into Geothermal Energy Plant.
I'm gonna take the refills here just because we're like super low on ammo.
Yeah, fun fact, Dragon ammo kills take away ammo.
Would have been nice if one of those Shine Sparks hit. That would have been super hype. Yeah, nice Great Bay Temple. There's the plasma gate, the plasma locked gate that you're supposed to have plasma for.
Carl Pit. Shoutouts to Carl.
I ran out of space jumps. Oh my.
Fell into the Carl Pit.
This is your fault.
It's named that because for reasons we'll keep secrets. Carl died like 30 times in that room, just over and over and over again, the same exact way.
Oh yeah, and another part of the Metroid suit is that now we take cold damage again. And in fact, we take more cold damage than we did before without Varia suit.
Oh, if you turn Varia suit off on top of that, it's insane cold damage. Like the Varia suit actually still tries to do a really good job shielding you from it. It's just...
Yeah, to add to that, if you charge up any beam combination, including ice,
we're
while you
turning, we're
have-
turning the power back on here. It's
No,
the
it
other side
doesn't.
of that same room.
It doesn't hurt you if you don't have ice beam.
Right, yeah, any combination, including ice beam.
Okay.
If you're while you're charging it and have the Metroid suit equipped, it will like once every second or so tick 1 damage off. So obviously it doesn't, it's not a huge punish gameplay-wise, but it's a neat, almost aesthetic effect.
They had made it stronger originally, and the beta testers complained. I kind of wish it was like more significant because it doesn't feel like it makes any difference here, the taking damage
It
from
feels-
charging ice beam. But
feels
like
more
as
like
a
a lore
runner, I'm
thing.
kind of glad it's not worse.
Yeah, it feels more like a lore thing with this amount of damage as opposed to a punishing thing.
And that ammo tank I just grabbed, the laser will not power that gate when the power is off. So that's like kind of your cue as to what you need to be doing here to progress. Not that you need the ammo, but it's like sometimes some of the like unnecessary minor items help with hints on where to go in the game. So now that that's done, we're what are we doing? We're doing
Going back to the hive.
cleanup of Fire Temple and Life Temple and using that to route back out. So this room, sealed shaft, you can access it early from the other side, and you'll see that there are hyper beam blocks here. If you bomb them, they'd say a little H on them with the gun, and it's like how am I supposed? I'm supposed to get a hyper beam at some point, or actually like some people don't even think of hyper beam and are just like H. What is that? What beam am I supposed to use to destroy that? Oh, I was supposed to go to side keep. That's right.
Yeah, slight detour over here.
You go through this room like 4 times in the run, so it's like hard not to autopilot to what you did on a previous attempt.
And the reason this is being left till now is you could do it before, but you don't. When we pass through here, we don't have power bombs, and it is like a lava bath, so surviving would be either incredibly difficult or just straight up impossible, considering the loadout at the time. But with Metroid Suit, it becomes a non-issue.
Hello?
Usually these enemies get just stuck on the power bomb blocks down there, but didn't happen that time.
It depends where you, where and when you lay them. It's common. It's a common outcome, but it doesn't have to happen.
And fun fact, we are halfway through our ammo pickups. Well, halfway in terms of the number. There's 400 total between the large and the smalls.
I think the game front loads, or the game back loads the large tanks, which give you 10 instead of 5. So we have picked up like a lot more of the individual items out of them.
That's what I was thinking when I was saying halfway. So halfway in terms of the number, not in terms of the actual pickups.
X Games Gold Part 2. That wasn't too bad actually, but it wasn't quite the smooth mock ball that you want.
I'd call that a bronze.
Yeah, that's fair.
You know,
Boulder.
something happened.
Oh, hey, we crossed 13.
Cross 13,000.
Yo.
Oh, I wasn't referring to that actually. I was referring to the other donation we got from Metroid MSD.
Oh.
For $80, it says, "Have I taught you nothing? Saving is for the weak. Please reconsider your routes to be more optimal."
Wait,
And-
saving is for the week? Oh, yeah, I guess it's Sunday.
That's exactly
It's not
what
supposed to save on Sundays.
It's true, it's true. And then also this little thing that happened, you know, we got a $500 donation from Kane R. Who says, and I quote, "Gotta save those animals," which brings us closer. With save still behind at $2,301.66, right on the tail of Kill the Animals at $2,560.20. So it's now about a $260 difference at this point.
Nice.
Let's make it happen. Thank you, KNR, for your very generous donation, and thank you everyone at home, on site, and anywhere in between who has donated towards this event.
Ancient Basin is so awkward if you lose your speed, because you can't get it back because of the spike floor and the crumbles. It's just terrible if you miss it.
And that room that he just went through is another one of the heated rooms you can get to before you get Varia suit. Blocks you pretty effectively, because without power bombs, you're not getting through that room very fast at all.
You're going to die most likely before you get to anywhere that you can farm or replenish your health otherwise.
And back to, I don't think we mentioned it. I know this is your favorite music in the game.
Oh yeah, I didn't even get to talk about it. Yeah, so this is a remix of Sunken City Tour from Shantae and the Seven Sirens. It's a remix using the Green Brinstar instrument set done by JX, and it is my favorite track in this game, and unfortunately, like the actual original track from Shantae pales in comparison quite a lot to this. But I love this area, and this is a nice bop from the Green Brinstar instruments are implemented into this so well.
Here comes a really tight short charge as well. Normally you'd have to loop up and around to get to this, but you have just enough space here to do a tight short charge. Hopefully with a couple of tries here.
This is really hard. That was close.
Close.
Oh. I normally would give this fewer tries, but I'm so close. Okay, so. Okay, I'm gonna give up on that. That's too bad, but oh my goodness.
Unfortunate, but it's really, really tight. So this is the tube we were talking about earlier that poses a soft lock problem if
you try to super sync it.
Yep.
So you have to get out after you get the ammo tank. And I have to menu to Spazer here to be able to break the blocks. Good. Okay, so this is the loop around the short charge was supposed to skip. I pre-opened the door here so that I can do a spark back through that door, because there's speed blocks directly on the other side that I wouldn't be able to do anything with otherwise.
All right, just gonna double check that we got the. Pretty certain we did, but my mind messes up sometimes. The Wellspring cash damage amp, we got
Yes.
that one. Okay, good.
Oh.
And this is where we would have had to route that first space jump boost in before the super sync became a thing, so. It would have caused that extra little loop.
Where are we going now?
Pirate Labs.
Okay. My fingers know where to go, and I don't.
Yeah, energy tank 11 containment area.
Thank you.
So we're actually going to take a path there to collect this energy tank that didn't exist in the original versions of this ROM hack, but because of how like turning the power off sort of really complicates like this that
particular
gate
section.
wouldn't be open and stuff. But yeah, this particular section is a good way of saying it. They just decided to go ahead and add these couple of rooms that
Yeah.
are pretty big.
My understanding is some people got to this, tried to get to this back to the ship by going this direction, and then just got gated. I know that didn't happen to me, but I think that's the reason why they put it in, so that
Yeah.
you could still get through back here.
The reason that annoying gate in front of Life Temple needs to be there that blocks you for power off is because the laser there leads to the end game area, and it would be very trivial to get to the end game area early if you if that gate wasn't there. I think is how it works. This game's so complicated sometimes. It's
Yeah.
hard to get the details all straight.
And there's that large ammo tank that kind of teased us earlier, and you do need to have the Metroid suit. I don't think you can get it with the power
Yeah,
off.
there's no puzzle that allows you to get it. You just have to have Metroid suit. The reason like turning off the power doesn't even work there because it causes
because the gates the other part of the switch puzzle is the actual switch puzzle doesn't work anymore, and now the gate's down.
And then this is leading back into. We're going to clean up Vulner Caves, which is like the first like purple criteria-looking area that we went through for speed and bombs very early in the game.
Yeah, a lot of the stuff could have been picked up earlier, but it's just more efficient to come back and pick it up now because not all of it could have been picked up earlier.
And there's actually one thing we still can't pick up, which is a bit annoying, but there's a lot of like ammo sinks for this as well, so it's good to just have like all your good resources and stuff to take care of this cleanup. Oh, okay. I was trying to get a short charge here, but the pirates make that a bit complicated, so I have to get it like an actual shorter one here. Come on.
This is a little bit less tight than the one he was attempting before, but it's also not nearly as difficult due to that. You have a few extra tiles, I believe.
My mind is not in the rhythm of the taps I need. Okay.
There we go. This song really is a bop.
The next set of items we're gonna get, there's 3 items in this area. We could get 2 of them earlier, but unfortunately can't get the 3rd one. There's gonna be an E-tank here that requires a power bomb.
It's this one, because this statue is made of power bomb blocks. The place that I often end up laying the power bomb means I don't clear all the statues, so it looks funny. Still holding the tank.
It is possible to super sync to get that E-tank, but because we're coming back here anyway for things that we actually do, want other items to get like much more quickly. Might as well just use the power bomb and collect the E-tank the intended way. This section too, you'd have to do a pretty slow puzzle individually bombing a bunch of blocks along the bottom of the room here, where with wave beam you can just skip the puzzle entirely.
It kind of looks like it is supposed to require a wave beam, but yeah, it's actually a bit unfortunate that like basically every speedrun category of this is just going to trivialize this room with wave beam. And there's actually the gate puzzle itself is pretty interesting if you have to do it.
Of note, that was the last refuel tank.
Yeah, that was the last refuel tank that exists, but it's actually like the first one the game expects you to get because it's so early.
Kind of similar to this next item. I believe this is the space jump boost that you can get early. I mean, it doesn't necessarily expect you to get it early.
Yeah, you like
but
not.
You can find it early.
You're not really expected to find. I guess if you're like paying really close attention, you'll see this like background blue pipe that looks like a tunnel. Because if you're paying a lot of attention, yeah, you can get this early. So you are intended to be able to get some of the space jump boosts early if you know what you're doing or look very thoroughly. So the unknown item is not like doesn't require glitches to achieve the unknown item text box.
In fact, that space jump boost is some any percent runners, including myself, will pick that up early, and it's really just their convenience in Life Temple later on. Life Temple, Lower Valley. Yes, sorry.
Don't know? Yeah. All right, so we got a $20 donation by Owl who says, "Yo, Ashder, Tracy and Sean. Sucks that I couldn't come to NoReset, but I'm still watching from afar. Hope Ashder's 100% run doesn't crash and burn like some interests of mine. Save them animals."
Owl and I had a 4-hour conversation recently about plane crashes. That's something he has some interest in researching. I almost forgot to do the actual puzzle here, which is just killing all the enemies and getting through the gates in time.
Yeah, this is also available much earlier, but we have much better equipment. Doing this without high jump boots is not great.
There's an extra gate puzzle for that missile gate back there to open this if you don't have power bombs to get rid of the blocks that are blocking this switch. So it kind of looks like you need power bombs for this, but you actually don't. But obviously that's way slower. Yeah, and now we're going back to the room where we originally got Speedball for an item that is locked by using the Speedball, but you need Speed Booster to get more speed, which I feel like this puzzle actually just frustrates a lot of people who think they're supposed to use original Speedball to get it.
But on the other hand, I think it's meant to show you that, yeah, you're going to be using this with Speed Booster in combination when you get it later on.
Yeah, you get walled by a gate because you're just not going fast enough without Speed Booster.
Also note that his health right now is 1349. The last 4 E-Tanks, whichever they are, will only give you 50 health. So there's actually 16 E-Tanks in the game instead of the normal 14.
I think we're pretty much done with Vulner Caves cleanup, and we're I'm gonna stop and ship refill, and then we're gonna go to the secret area of this game. Bonus area, difficult content ahead.
Yeah, and most people when they go to the bonus area will have things like Screw Attack on them, maybe a bunch of other things as well. In fact, you can choose to not go to this area if you choose to go. It's an optional area in general.
I mean, most people don't even find it until after they beat the game.
I think on
Maybe
version
1.1,
on version 1.1 that was certainly the case. I think they telegraph it a little bit better now and how to get to it. So I've definitely seen people get to it before, because there is a way to. We're not going to tell you how, but might as well leave some things to the new player. But there is a way to unlock the ability
I got that again. Wow.
Nice. There is a way to see where all the items are on the map, and once you've done that, there's an item that's way, way far to the left on the map in this area, and it's supposed to clue you into the fact that there's more that direction. If you follow and you're persistent, you find that item. It'll show you the way to Susie Island, which is where we're headed right now.
This is a crashed cargo ship, by the way. It's kind of in the way now. For our current purposes. Makes this area more annoying to navigate. And the Metroids that were in the Metroid storage are also released, so gotta deal with those.
And in terms of the optional area, one thing though, when I discovered it, it was when I was doing cleanup to do my 100% essentially completion of the game after the fact. Otherwise, I never would have known it was there when I was playing 1.1.
Yeah,
and it's one of my favorite areas in the game. I really, really enjoy it.
Yeah, the spot where you're going to get the map marks is a lot more telegraphed in 1.2.
Yeah, I would say probably the most common place where the actual 100% items is achieved in a casual playthrough would be in Susie Island itself.
Yep, can confirm.
Same. We do still have a few ocean depths items to pick up. We just got one of them. No, actually that wasn't technically ocean depths, but now we're going to get the ones that are here.
Oh yeah, I love the music down here. It's Torvus Bog, Lower Torvus Bog from Metroid Prime 2, which is basically just a Red Brent Star remix, but it's one that I like. Please.
And if you can't see it, there are eddies pushing him in the directions, either helping him or hindering him.
They're currently pushing me. Actually, they're not anymore. If I said that, but
just a little bit late.
The Ed, and Eddie channels.
Cartoon Network. I actually don't know where that was shown, but
Yeah, Cartoon Network cartoon.
I think we're done. Are we done with Spaceship Boost now?
we got one more.
Oh, the next
will be the
next one's
last
yeah, that'll be the last one. I'm sorry, when I see a bunch of lines like that in a row, I just can't count them anymore. I need to be able to.
Yeah, I tried to group the
segment
item
them.
list for Tracy by area, but you know, the areas have unequal amounts of items generally.
Boulder.
No, I was counting the actual space jump boots on the screen to
Oh,
see if they
okay.
were 9 or
Okay,
not.
I gotcha.
Fun fact about this room, these ohms are actually invisible as well without the dark visor on. And so you can come in here, and if you're just tired of looking at red and gray and try not to use the dark visor, you're like, what in the world is blocking my path?
I mean, honestly, I consider this area in general to just be not visible without that dark visor.
Yeah.
Pretty true.
That's why I have it on. It's night vision area. Because this is like around the area where we got super missiles from, where you sequence broke to early supers. And that tube in Subversion and in some other ROM hacks, you can move while breaking the tube, and it'll set the flag without having to watch like the whole animation. So if you go into the other room, it's faster. You don't have to wait for the glass. You don't have to watch the glass break. But in vanilla, you get stopped. You get frozen in place, and are forced to watch the glass break.
So here's why Susie Island is so hard to find. There's this otherwise random speed block here. You can see it with X-ray, but you also have to be like clued in to like look there.
Because it's in the ceiling. It's generally harder to spot stuff that's in the ceiling with X-ray. So your vantage point has to be able to include it.
And so since Susie Island is like the optional and like a challenge area, a lot of the enemies leading up here are pretty lethal, including these fish. They're quite scary.
I take a spike hit here to try and run through the fish without getting hit by it.
Yeah, because for whatever reason, spikes hurt less than fish.
I mean, those fish, like, anatomically probably have spikes on them.
This is true.
So heading over to Susie Island, which consists of the Susie Ruins and the Susie Reef, we're going to be opening up 7 key ciphers with various puzzles. There's some ammo out here too, but the only items other than there's one major item we're going to pick up in this area are just large and small ammo.
Oh, that one's so well. That side hopper can just screw your speed over. Really
Yeah. Fun fact: the screw attack doesn't even kill a lot of the enemies here. It just lets you kind of space jump through them. And we don't even have the screw attack to help us. So.
Yeah, you can have it, but the way that I have this particular route working out, I just happen to not have it. And it actually makes this area fairly significantly harder.
So that really long tube ride, if you had a keen eye, you would see some power bomb switches, the yellow switches, like that are normally for gates. It's supposed to be like I guess a really well hidden hint towards one of the puzzles that will get us to one of the 7 key ciphers later. We'll mention it again when we get there.
This is the very first puzzle for a key cipher. Not the one he's talking about, but that's the very first one that we get in the route, and it's a tough execution challenge.
It's tough, but I find that was one of the rooms I enjoyed the most figuring out and pulling off.
Yeah, it was definitely I think the hardest for most people to figure out, because not only do you have to figure out how to hit the 2 switches while you're running down, you have to, there's a shot block that if you hit by accident, if you hold the shot too long or shoot too late, that it'll trip you up, and then that gate at the end you have to jump over. So there's like 4 aspects that you have to keep in mind when you're doing that room.
And the climbing this room without screw tech, without getting hit, you need to platform oh my goodness, I'm sad. You need to platform extremely well to avoid getting hit.
You had to jinx it, basically.
Unfortunate.
Well, speaking of which, I might as well jinx it. I have a good feeling we're going to reach 15,000 because people are going to donate so that we reach it, right? Because we're only $1,480 away from unlocking Majora's Mask. And then after that, every $2,000, we do Tier 8, 8.5, and 9 of the Hot Sauce Challenge. And we might even have a surprise incentive or 2 happening during that as well. So keep them coming. Keep those donations coming. I know we can reach 15,000. We did it last time. We're going to do it again. We did it with Ocarina of Time. Now it's Majora's Mask's turn. And also, you want Skull Kid on the stream as well as Standing Waltz, who's going to be commentating, I believe, the the Majora's Mask run, which basically brings everything full circle.
Oh, you jinxed it. Now Skull Kid can't draw his sword.
Haha. So this puzzle, there's a bunch of invisible collision here that you'd be able to see with X-ray. And these Kagos, the enemies, you can only see with dark visor.
And you can't have both on at the same time.
Yeah, only one visor.
Not that I have X-ray at this point, but in the route, but you can't have both here.
So when you go through the first time, it's a lot of going back and forth between X-ray and dark visor.
There is actually like a bombable path to get through here, but you could just save time by taking a bunch of damage on the spikes. And it's time to go bowling.
I did not know that path was there for a long time. Actually, I thought this was force damage because it made sense to have force damage for like an optional difficult area.
Right.
Is it called Ancient Arcade, that room, because there's a bowling alley?
I did.
Never
Sure,
thought
yeah,
about that. You might be right.
And that's not a very family-friendly arcade. I mean, your kids will just run around, trip, get like stabbed in the face on some spikes. I'm not sure about that one.
Yeah, don't bring your kids.
I mean, kids usually prefer, I think, the floor is lava games. You know?
That's true. The floor spikes, not so much. Although the arcade section that we have here at NoReset is perfectly family safe.
All right, so this key cipher is an interesting one because most people will come at it from the other side. And they'll see the crumble blocks and they won't really know what to do to get to it. And it turns out you have to get to it from a totally different angle. And, you know, there is a map. I mean, as per usual in Metroid games, there are maps. Stations everywhere. Of course, we don't need to get them.
I am going to go on my way to one actually right now because there just happens to be an item in that room. And then
yeah. But the map doesn't quite give you all the information to get there. So you have to find that chorizo.
Yeah, there's a lot of like different sub-regions in each of the maps, and each of them have their own map station. So, actually, I found a lot in this when playing Subversion for the first time that you frequently end up like getting
the useful map
after exploring all the things in the area.
Yeah, those I think only once or twice did I manage to actually get a useful map.
I'm gonna take a save here.
Oh, by the way, Ashter, we came to an agreement without consulting you that if we reach 30,000 before the end of your run, you're doing second quest right after.
Honestly, like,
that
would be insane. I mean, Sean's driving, so it's his call really. But if you did something that insane, I personally would be down.
Let's go.
I've run second quest before, so you just throw me in, coach.
How did he end? He's blocking my. What? That's never happened before.
Hashtag, TNHB.
If you still have your bingo cards, you can mark that square. Then that's never happened before.
Yep. You know, if you still have those bingo cards from the N64 challenge, I mean, by all means, punch those cards. We got a $25 donation by Hoshi who says, really hope on seeing my bud Skolololo do his Majora's Mask run. And 49, not Peta, but maybe, donated $49.69 who says, hello, have we heard saving and animals? Here's a nice donation towards Save the Animals. The last two have brought us closer in terms of the gap. And if one were so inclined, one could even say that Save the Animals is less than $200 away still. So keep them coming.
Not much time left. There still is some time, but not much left to if you want Save the Animals to overtake Kill.
A lot of that time will be spent in this room.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the obligatory Edacoons puzzle. So basically, we have to let the Edacoons break the blocks for us. And unbeknownst to a bunch of us, as we tried to figure out this puzzle, if you see those little rocks, they have a number of pips on them. And it's supposed to tell you that that's the order you're supposed to break them, hit these gates in. And
Gate glitching, this one doesn't actually save any time, by the way, because you still have to wait for the rest of the puzzle, but it's like, I might as well do something here.
Don't forget the cipher.
Oh, yeah, oh my goodness.
yeah,
I can't believe I did that yesterday.
Yeah, we were trial running this yesterday. Yeah, he did everything but hit the cipher.
Which is funny because this is like one of the only times in 100% where you're waiting for something the game is doing.
I mean, it can't be worse than waiting for that fuzzy ball thing to go around the room.
Oh yeah, by no means isn't it close to that.
You were about to leave.
Oh my goodness.
I just wanted to see if you were paying attention.
Oh, okay, if that's your story.
We are still waiting here, so it's not like that was a time loss.
Where in the world is Samus Aran?
Where in the world is Edacoon?
Oh, yeah.
There he is.
Always mix them up, you know, the Edacoons and the Koras. Like, I'm trying to, you know, which one is which.
I don't know. The Decora taught me, when I played this game the first time, the Decora taught me how to shine spark, and I understood what it was trying to show me. And the Edacoons taught me that wall jumping was possible, but I didn't figure it out till lots of years later.
Yep.
So it's funny, all of the ciphers either have some intricate puzzle or challenge thing, and this one is just like, haha, spikes.
Yeah, there's spikes all over those. You can see those spikes there. The Kagos, there's little purple things, are spiked Kagos. And, you know, he doesn't have that screw attack, but all it would be doing...
See ya, fish. Oh, I ran out of space jumps, but it's okay.
Yeah, the only thing that the screw attack would be doing is just letting us not take damage, as opposed to normal, where it actually would kill things.
We're getting closer and closer to the cutoff time for Save or Kill the Animals, so keep those donations coming, people. Because once we get screw attack, that's it.
Yeah, it'll be a little bit after the bonus area, so we still got some time.
That's funny. I always thought that you have this bonus area with lots of danger, and the music just feels so chill.
I know, right? It's one of my favorite tracks in the ROM hack, actually.
I hate Susie Reef so much. Like, it's so awkward to navigate the spikes in the floor and stuff. And there's like not really good visual cues to base your jumps off of. But I think the DKC3 Waterworld track and the Susie Ruins itself, I feel like it's a little bit intense. It's like low-key intense. I like the serious tone that it brings to that area. And I just like that area more.
Yeah, kind of a sense of mystery and discovery, you know, like it's you know, this old area that's kind of like a little bit decrepit, but at the same time it's like ruins. But
and this is the Wind Waker one, which is had a fun moment when I was watching a Z1R race, and they like to randomize what the flute or the recorder sounds like, and everybody was saying this was Wind Waker, and I said that can't be Wind Waker. I've never played Wind Waker. And then I realized where I'd heard it from was from here, because it was something I recognized.
That shine spark's super annoying to keep through the
That's
basically
that's hard
invincible
enough.
shine spark.
Yeah,
or
I mean,
side hoppers.
normally, I mean, you even with the screw attack, like normally you'd want to kill all the side hoppers, but then you use up all your missiles, and then you can't do that puzzle. And that was the puzzle that you were alluding to earlier.
Yes, that's kind of twofold in pertaining to me. Yeah, I mentioned that earlier, that you can see more of the room layout there from the tram ride over, the big tube. That power bomb placement is something I ended up finding to be able to hit all 4 switches, because there's actually a 5th switch in that room that instead of opening a gate for you, it closes a gate on you and makes the puzzle incompletable until you reload the room. So it's sort of that one power bomb kind of that placement trivializes the whole rest of actually figuring it out. Normally you'd kind of want to just stay away towards the outsides of the rooms and use a bunch of power bombs to hit the power bomb switches along the outside of the middle area, because the one that you don't want to hit is centralized in the room.
And of course, with power bombs, using 10 every time you try it, killing the side hoppers using up a bunch of your ammo, which is not a small amount, means you just can have fewer tries with the power bombs before you might have to refill or even reset to a save.
So you got one more cipher, and this is my favorite one. It's an incredibly complex gate switch puzzle where you have to vibe it out, and boom, 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 and done.
Yeah, most of us end up just randomly hitting switches until it actually comes out correctly.
I think it's really funny that the solution is just 1, 2, 3.
I love it. Is that your luggage combination?
Yeah, I was thinking the same joke.
I'm glad that you made me watch Spaceballs that one time.
That wasn't me. That was Metroid MST.
Well, yeah.
All right, so Thunder Lab. This is, if Susie is the secret area, this is like the super secret area where, lore-wise, the Susie Ruins is like a really sacred place to the Chozo, and nobody's ever been to the Thunder Lab before because of all those ciphers locking the way. So there's some really ancient and powerful Chozo technology here.
And some very powerful key hunters here that we do not want to hit.
And these do 100 damage to Metroid suit, which has the full. I have all 3 suits, giving me 75% damage reduction. So their base damage is 400, which is insane.
Well, before you get to the juicy part of this section, N2Logical donated $20 saying, come on, we can get to that 15,000. GG for your event, guys. Always a pleasure to watch Save the Animals. Thank you, N2Logical. It's been a long time, man. Hope you're well. And Kane R donated another $250 saying, save the Skull Kids, save the animals.
Let's go.
Yo, let's go.
Which I believe brings Save the Animals in the lead.
Yes. Very good.
With 26-26-35 versus Kill the Animals at 25.60 and 20 cents.
Oh boy, here we go. Moment you've all been waiting for, the super boss of this hack.
Hyper Terizo. So Hyper Terizo started off with one of its new attacks there. It can fire a hyper beam at you at random intervals. It also has all the same attacks that Gold Terizo would have, and it also has a couple of other new attacks. This one being the homing missiles, and once we reduce, once Hyper Terizo's health is reduced past a certain point, it starts doing an attack called Egg Shield, where the Hyper Terizo will become invulnerable and release these 3 eggs that float around the room that you have to destroy to make Hyper Terizo vulnerable again. And just, as usual, getting very unlucky with these hyper beam shots. Is pretty much undodgeable.
I am getting lucky that he's not doing a lot of the missiles, at least. Because the crescents are easier to dodge. There's lots of abusing the space jump and respin to get shots off.
And that was hyper rude.
Wow. He'll just do those with absolutely no warning at ranges where you can't do. Really.
When you got hit in the foot, did it try to give you a little kiss? Because that was a missile tilt.
What? Are you kidding me?
If it isn't very clear, there's a very real chance that Ajda might not survive, and we'll have to refight this boss. So everybody pool your energy together and hope
Spirit
that-
bomb time.
Yeah, spirit bomb time.
Raise your hands up,
Pretend it's
everyone.
crowd control. Okay, here's the egg shield.
And when this happens, he has to destroy those eggs before he can actually damage Hyper Chorizo again.
This almost feels like Gradius at this point.
Ooh, this is getting really tight here. Usually there'll be 2 egg shield phases before enough damage is dealt to kill Hyper Chorizo. And oh my goodness. Korean aim right now.
Having all the space jumps in this phase is also super useful. Screw attack would be nice, but we don't have that yet.
Okay, egg shield 2.
I will die if he does a hyper shot, which is likely, so. Been walking on egg shields this whole fight.
Could have been a large health
Yeah, no,
too.
yeah.
Cut it? I don't know if I've actually ever seen a large health
I see him all the time. What do you mean?
from this fight? From the egg shields? It was
Close.
so close to dead.
That had to be, a
Like
number of
probably a
shots you
couple
could count
shots
on one hand
Yeah.
before it was dead. Hopefully this time it'll be a little bit less mean with these 0 warning hyper beam shots. Also, again, with the not having your space jumps refilled after dying.
I think if I die again, I'll go back and refill that health that I lost on the way out. It might actually make the difference.
All right, here we go again.
If I had screw attack, this would be a lot easier.
Still a very difficult fight, even with screw attack, though.
Got me.
Yep.
Wow.
Also, supers are a little bit more DPS. They do half damage on Hyper Chorizo. The main reason to not use them is Hyper Chorizo will counter punish with hyper beams, so you'd be seeing them a lot more frequently, and you're just not built to withstand that much damage before you can win the damage race. Well, the good news is this time we got to the final color change with like more than 700 energy. I don't want to jinx anything, but it's better pace than last time.
Would you have a couple of minutes for me to talk to you about our Lord and Savior commentator's curse? Does Hyper Chorizo punish you with the hyper beams if you use supers on those eggs as well?
I don't think
I
so.
don't think so.
No.
It's just really, it's much tougher to hit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was much cleaner
see,
egg shield
big
phase.
health. Big health.
Okay, I see it. I will note that for the future. I just never personally noticed.
I think I might have noticed it because in my fight, if I saw a big health, I just made sure I grabbed it.
That homing missile attack is like what I think of when like mages use magic missile attack in D&D.
I mean, the 20
I can see it.
the 20 energy isn't going to help you that much, so I wouldn't put all your eggs in that basket.
Oh.
GG.
go.
I had that much health left? Wow.
That's a lot. That is
Fight.
a lot of health left.
You might not actually have to heal on the way out of here.
Yeah.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the
Hypercharge.
hypercharge, which is exactly what it says it is. You charge, and it goes hyper.
Those blocks to get out are hyper blocks.
Yeah, it's the only way to kill these key hunters too.
Yeah, because you have to. My first time beating Hyper Chorizo, I died to a key hunter. So,
On the way out, yeah.
On the way out, I think I got it like second, maybe third try, and then then I got it lots of I don't want to count tries.
Did you have like actual 100% other items though? I think.
Yeah, I had everything.
Oops.
Then my hands were also really tired at that
Thanks,
point.
Plasma Hitbox, for not shooting the block out that was right in front of me.
So that ammo is the only thing that Hyper Beam actually locks. Those are Hyper Beam blocks, and there is no Verdite lasers to help you out there. So, kind of gives you a clue as to what you're gonna get, I suppose.
Yeah, if you go check it out before doing the fight. So I just lost like 300 energy from the key hunter.
Yeah,
so.
you did.
So that is pretty much the conclusion of Susie Island. There's one more item to pick up on the way out that's on the other side of the tram, back to the mainland.
Please don't let me forget that.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, it's the one he skipped in an earlier this week playthrough.
It's just a little bit faster to get on the way out. It's a Spazer locked item with the tram entrance. It's just a tiny bit faster to get on the way out. So I want to make a habit of that, but then that makes it easier to forget it.
And harder to come back for it if you do.
Choosing to skip the refill.
That's fine.
It'll be fine.
I didn't die.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
What could go wrong?
We said those fish had a lot of health. We weren't joking.
Hey, fish over spikes.
No! These guys don't hurt nearly as bad as the
Okay,
fish.
you know what? We're gonna play
You're
it.
gonna Crystal Flash,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
I was like, is it really just like yanking our chains now? But then, yeah, Crystal Flash makes sense. But I'm like, that's just. I mean, you don't need to flex so hard, man. Like. Tram to mainland. Sounds like, you know.
So yeah.
Oh, that sucks. I'm not gonna get the Deathless achievement now.
Oh, by the way, you see a hint for that powerbomb puzzle where the 3 switches as you're going through the
Yeah,
tram.
that's what Sean was alluding to as he was coming in.
Yeah. I never knew about that.
And also a little bug with this door.
Yeah.
It's
I didn't save, so I'm not gonna go for it. Sorry.
Oh, fair enough.
It's a soft lock risk.
Yeah, theoretically, since door tiles are 4 tiles high, it just so happens that the top tile there is coded to take you to door 0, like our transition 0 or door 0, I guess. And the other ones are 1, and so 1 is like what it's supposed to normally function as, and because 0 is the door at the top of the room. So you just get to skip pile anchor, which is the room with all those spikes and fish and stuff. It's really convenient. Beyond just being
it's like
faster.
just one of the door tiles is accidentally made to lead to the wrong door. So,
Yeah.
which like if I did do the trick, it would look like a wrong warp, but it's just that's not any glitch being applied. It's just the game's doing exactly like what it's the tiles are telling it to, but it's just a misplaced tile. Which what happens is that when you're crafting like all these areas, tiling them all by hand basically for each room and what each tile is supposed to do. It's hard to not make any mistakes.
So it looks like we reached $14,000. Woo! A Great Waffle donated $20 and says, Road to 15K. Hype!
Hi.
Merci pour ce bel event. Et It's Bum donated $116 and says, Let's go la run à Skull pour Save the Animals. Ce qui veut dire que Save the Animals, là, si je me trompe pas, prendre l'avance.
And jumping out of the cargo
getting
ship
ahead.
here with a ton of speed is the fastest way to get this ammo tank way up here. So we could get it way earlier, but we leave it for this long just for that.
Yeah, I love it when the English words get interspersed with French, and it's this really smooth, pretty French, and then all of a sudden it's something English, like Save the Animals.
You know, sometimes I make bilingual puns, you know? I make wordplay in both languages at the same time, mais après ça, le monde la punne pas.
Oh, wait, no. I'm
Some
going.
of us don't speak French.
I know. It's fine. Those who groaned, you know.
I mean, I'm just an ignorant American. What can I do?
It's all good.
So we are going back to Sky Temple to face off with Ridley, who we were supposed to encounter on the first trip there.
This should be the third encounter with Ridley. It is instead only the second.
Yeah.
but-
You're supposed to like Ridley's completely invulnerable. You get a log entry kind of explaining that. You're supposed to piece together that eventually when you get Metroid suit, that maybe like the hyper beam would work on Ridley. But you can actually if you happen to do the Susie Island, if you happen to find it, if you happen to do it before getting the Metroid suit, you can also just use hypercharge on the Ridley fight instead, and that works just as well. Actually, hypercharge does double damage of what hyper beam does. Like, it just having the upgrade increases your beam damage to 2,000. It's actually insane that fish took that hit.
Oh, by the way, Metroid MST says Google Translate is your friend. See, full of wisdom. He truly is like the wise sensei.
Yeah, that's a little more multitasking than I need to do.
When's SM Subversion Google Translate edition?
This is your last chance, by the way, to get those donations in for Save or Kill because it's about to be cut off.
Yep, as soon as we get Screw Attack, it's over.
And that is coming up momentarily, basically directly after defeating Ridley.
And right before we get into Ridley, Nana Keelinko donated $20 saying, On veut une run de maillot, which basically translates to, we want a course de maillot.
So also lots of cleanup to do up here. The majority of the items up in Sky Temple, other than that Grand Promenade refuel tank, Varia, and the space jump boost from the back door, still need to be collected up here.
And this room is another really awful room that, even with X-ray, it still is awful. But at least you can kind of see your path.
What?
I think you need to go up more. There you go.
But I can't. Oh, there's a middle one
Yep.
that I.
It's a real maze, and you can see basically 80% of what you need to do. So you either use X-ray, or if you learn it by heart, and then you're like, oh yeah, I think I'm on this level, and then you're like, no, I'm like 2 tiles too low, and it looks the same, and you get confused, and then
It's like an upgraded version of that maze for the Batuni tank in vanilla.
Yep. Only blind.
Okay, so here's the Ridley fight. Normally you're supposed to have the Metroid suit equipped here in a cold area to be able to get Hyper Beam off these Verdite sparks, which are in the air, so it makes actually doing the fight super awkward. But with Hypercharge, we can just have Varia suit, or we can have Metroid suit off and not just kind of be able to shoot Ridley like normal.
And the normal flow of the game, you would come through here and show up face off with Ridley and find out that you have absolutely no means of damaging it. Nice fight, by the way. And so you would hit that switch down below the platform and just run right by Ridley.
Don't forget the tank.
Yeah, we're going for it.
And you would come over to here, and in this next room where the
Oh, by
sea
the way,
tank
making
is,
a slight, I'm making a slight Oh, yeah, go on. This is supposed to lead to Fantoon. We're coming here just for this E-Tank and ignoring Fantoon.
Also, there is a hidden way out that you're supposed to find. This is one of the areas where the map actually is super useful because it kind of shows.
Can we talk about this switch puzzle for
Sure, go for it.
Yeah, so
3, 2, 3, 1, 1.
yes. I was just also trying to do this in a
Nice. There we
Fewer
go.
shots as possible.
yeah. Those switches are going to redirect the like reflectors for the Verdite laser, and they all feed into this room to make the gates go up. And this is the kind of
All
what,
bets are off.
Yes, it is now
Say
locked
all
in.
donations.
And what do we get?
Oh my god. No freaking way.
Is it a tie on racetime.gg?
You know, I've been pushing really hard for Save the Animals throughout the entirety of this run, and they kept coming, and I believed, you know. I was really, really believing. And it paid off because we're saving the animals, people.
Yeah.
$2,772.35 versus $2,560.20 for Kill the Animals. Thank you to everyone who has donated. This has raised over 30% of the donations for this marathon. So thank you so much, everyone.
Give yourself a round of applause.
But yeah, what I was saying before we did the screw attack puzzle, the map in that area will show you that there are 2 bosses. And the first, you know, and if you know the game well, it's not hard to figure out which ones they are because of the size of the rooms. So it kind of gives you a clue that maybe this is not the time to fight Ridley and that there's just some other way out.
Yeah, something about an exoskeleton that's super durable or something. And also, I don't know if we touched on this, and I'm sorry if I missed it, but with the hypercharge, did we mention how it doubles all charge damage?
I
It
did.
does, yep.
You did? Perfect.
Also, I love how the plasma beam shoots out ice blocks even with ice beam equipped.
Yeah, these are like, they show up as plasma blocks with a P if you... I need to do glaciers reach.
Yeah,
I
okay.
forgot this
Because
before.
there's no 350. It goes from 345 to 355.
So are you telling me that P melts ice?
I knew that joke was on the table, but...
Boulder. Sorry, I'm pointing out like every boulder I see because
He never notices them.
it's a motif in this game, and it's like literally Amoeba of Doom, one of the devs, has an emote in his channel for boulders. It's literally just the boulder graphic.
Well, if he likes boulders descending so much, why
Boulder.
does he hate Super Sync?
True.
All right, okay, 360 is what you're supposed to have when you leave Sky Temple, so we're good.
Yeah.
Also of note, this area seems to have no purpose whatsoever. It does have a purpose, but we will not spoil what it is.
Well, like people in chat are asking about Forbidden Room. This will happen at the end of the run. We have a save file specifically for it. And Kai Ampleur a donné $10. Il dit, on veut du Majora's Mask. Let's go! We need to reach 15K. Il faut se rendre à 15 000. On est vraiment proche. On est vraiment proche de la run de Skull Kid, tout le monde. On part un petit donation train de $10, là. Allez-y, je crois en vous. Pour la Fondation des Gardiens Virtuels, une excellente cause. Puis en plus de ça, on va avoir une run supplémentaire de pas loin de 5 heures. Ça vaut la peine.
Do you want to talk about that ready room E-Tank?
Yeah, so we had an opportunity to get this E-Tank coming up earlier in the Spaceport, and it's usually the one item that you do pick up before you crash the cargo ship and the GFS Daphne. But because of the route considerations that were made to be able to save the animals in this run, it just happens that we come through this area with Screw Attack, and...
Yeah, that item was behind screw attack blocks. So normally that's the reason that doing a route, getting it post-ship crash wouldn't work, but here it actually happens to work, which is nice.
Yeah, either way, that item itself just kind of stinks because no matter what, it's going to be out of the way. It's just depending on when you get Screw Attack is how much, which choice you want to make.
Yeah.
Where to get it.
Yeah, the energy tank in the ready room in its location on the spaceport is the farthest away item in the spaceport to get.
I do believe that is all the energy tanks and all the damage amps. So you just have one more Excel charge left, and then it'll all be ammo from there.
Yeah,
So
that
this
one
is-
Excel charge is locked by screw attack, which makes like routing really annoying.
Yeah, so right now we're detouring down to turn the power back off. We would have been able to just keep the power off if it weren't for
Those meddling kids.
those meddling kids. Yeah, if it weren't for the screw attack puzzle itself involving lasers. There might be some other like smaller incidental things to turn the power back on after having turned it off.
I have to actually go turn it back on.
Yeah, but
off, rather.
unfortunately, because we needed the power on after a point in which we needed it off, we have to go all the way back and turn it off for a second time to finish the game with the power off.
Yeah, so this is the room. This is normally where you'd go to turn it to turn the power back on after after doing vulner route after crashing the ship. But now we have screw attack. We can pass freely between the off and on switches. And now I'm in the front half of energy plant, and I'm going to use this to route out. So not getting any items here, so this is just like a straight detour.
All right, it's crunch time, people, if we want to see Majora's Mask. So, Azur's literally heading to the final cleanup and then the end game. There's not much time left.
Next item is power node, Excel charge.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, it's it takes quite a while to get from turning the power off for the animals to this item that I was going to get. So
Yep. These last two Vulner Caves items, that and the X-ray scope, should be the last of the non-ammo items.
And you may think X-ray was put off this late because, as many know, menuing through the X-ray as you're running stops your momentum. But in this game, they decided to change activating X-ray to the shot button, which some people really dislike and some people really like. I'm in the like group, but I can understand not liking it because it basically means you can't use any kind of microwave strategy against any of the enemies.
It's just much more difficult.
Or yeah, it's.
Well, I mean, you know what we do
I can't
like.
go through here because the power is off. I can't go through that gate.
One thing we do like is more donations coming in, and you know, we sent out a call into the universe, and by the universe I mean, you know, our stream on site, and people are starting to show up. We got two separate $100 donations that just came in. One from Zerker who says 10 x 10 pour continuer le train, on veut du Majora, and then Martha Sar who said on y va pour Majora's Mask. Keep them coming. We need 8 more like those, and we're good. We're set. It's done. It's done.
And then even more than that, if you want to see more suffering.
You know, just keep it coming. Just hot sauces, 100%. I want to do the hundo on the hot sauces. I want to make it all the way to the last tier. Like, I want to suffer for the cause, you know?
You're gonna meet with a terrible fate, aren't you?
Oh, what a terrible night to have a curse.
So this is pretty fun. This room is designed to basically be like a puzzle of using all these grapple switches. But at the top, you'll see here soon, if you can basically immediately extend the grapple and push yourself through these walls.
Oh, I forgot about that.
You have to like pick the correct switch on this side.
And be very careful because if you don't, if you let go of grapple while you're exactly in the middle of these walls, you are stuck and cannot get out, and it is soft lock.
That's what you get for cheating.
Shout out to Kev Nastics who says he got soft luck here like 3 times in a row.
Let's go. By the way, C2 donated $10 saying, choo choo!
This is screw attack locked just because the blocks outside the room were screw attack only.
And it really does make it inconvenient, but at least X-ray is next to it, and there's some other reason to come back here than just this item.
Oh wait, no, we're supposed to go through Pilot. It's too many different routes that I had to take into consideration for this.
Yeah, we tried to figure out a way to route the Forbidden Room into the actual run, and then as we talked about it more and more, because to do so, you have to not crash the ship after you get the Metroid suit. We eventually decided to go with the safer, easier route of creating a file.
There's so many dependencies for like the second half of the game as far as like 100% routes go that it's really hard to decide on a route to begin with, and it's hard to keep everything straight when you do decide on one.
I mean, essentially it would have given you 4 different route possibilities given that location and also the save kill animals being a different route. So.
Yeah, that's not even counting just like what route you want to do to be fastest in general. So there's trade-offs to a lot of stuff, like do you do Fire Temple, Life Temple cleanup in one go early on, or do you wait on it, backtrack through it later? Do you backtrack through it later or earlier, like after ship crash or before? There's like so many considerations.
Oh, we got a couple donations that came in. Hoishi donated $20 saying, whoop, whoop. And then Mollyman donated $15. And Ahmed194 donated $50 saying, let's go team, keep going. Thank you for all your hard work and runs. Ahmed, by the way, is one of our 2 photographers who covered the entirety of the event. Can I have a big round of applause for him and also Christina aka Paprika, our 2 main photographers for the event. And also, let's not forget Bernie from Bernie Media, who came in and assisted us by being our official videographer, gaining footage from the event, you know, walking around with his camera. So we have very, very nice memories and even better highlight reels for you guys later after the event. So 1 round of applause for Bernie as well.
I believe most of the rest of the items actually are ones that you could have gotten the ship, right?
Yeah.
Except the very last one.
Yeah, that's actually true. So there's normally a laser blocking this part that prevents you from accessing it in like the early game. And it's once you have Metroid suit and screw attack and such, it's fairly like what's the word? Inconsequential whether that laser is actually on or off. But this is the end game area. This is the crash site of the GFS Daphne.
So remember this area and that laser that was just being talked about, because that'll be important for the Forbidden Room exhibition.
That's another track I absolutely love, just like those donations. Catlett donated $15 saying, plus de Zelda, plus de fun, which translates to more Zelda, more fun. And I think we all agree on that. And then VGR donated $40 saying, let's keep that train going. Choo choo!
Really?
Oh boy.
Thought I'd get all of them.
And Kanar is back with another $250 donation saying, choo choo tabarnak! Sneeze. Hashtag SkullKiller64.
Did you just say that with a hard K?
Yeah, I went full cabana cirque on it.
Oh my goodness.
You know. Daz et Kit, qui a donné $20, qui dit, je t'envoie toute ma chance jusqu'au loulou. Merci d'être là, buddy. Oublie pas tes REER. Smooth talk nous cette run-là. Don't forget those RSPs, guys. It's important, you know, 401k, gotta think of your future, you know, plan ahead. It's important, you know.
We are 1 item away from 100%.
And less than $400 away from meeting our donation goal for the event. And
Oh,
unlocking.
we're finally doing Mother Brain 1, by the way. We were supposed to do at the start of the game.
Big shout outs to, you know, Metroid Prime 3 Corruption with your Aurora units.
You have to do that phase to unlock the doors to get out. So.
Yeah. And usually that first gate skip that he did, basically, essentially skipped that. Usually you would do that on a normal playthrough on your first way out of the station on your way to Ridley.
All right, so like one of the big reasons that the Space Pirates actually stole this GFS ship was it is equipped with antimatter warheads, and to destroy the pirate lab, we're just going to use them to blow up the entire planet.
And so the final escape has begun. But wait, where was the final boss?
Wait, where was the final item?
That's true too.
Did we forget something?
No.
No.
No? You sure?
Definitely not.
I'll believe it when I see it.
Well, how are you going to see it if there's nothing to forget to see?
No, I was kind of expecting you to wait until the timer
Oh, by
hit
the way,
750.
6 Excel charges.
It makes it really, really fast to charge things. But normally, if you don't have the, well, I shouldn't say normal. If you don't have the hyper beam here, you would do just the normal charge shots, and then this green laser will show up, and you finish her off with the hyper beam.
It's the baby laser.
So at any percent, you don't even bother to pick up the charge beam. At 725 on the escape timer, another laser or the back, the rightmost tile, like vertical tile space, will appear, and you just defeat Mother Brain that way. And pretty much all the other bosses that you end up fighting, you're using either hyper beam or ammo to kill.
All right, so right now we're at the end of the line. We got another $20 donation by Mary O'Malley saying Moi je veux du Majora's Mask, let's go! Puis on a eu un autre don anonyme de 9,95. Go scululululu. Continuez parce qu'on est à moins de 300 $. Moins de 300 $ de la marque. Puis vous voyez le timer qu'il y a là, ça va y prendre à peu près 2 minutes et demie. You have about 2.5 minutes to meet that 15K goal to unlock Majora's Mask.
Y'all can do it.
Y'all can do it. I refuse to fall short so close to the goal.
So the other, that laser that Sean was talking about that comes at a certain time, doesn't happen it only happens in normal. In easy, there's no timer, so no way to have the laser then show up at that time. And in hard, the timer is shorter, so it's already past that time. So any kind of low percent category needs to be played in normal.
Oh, by the way, all RTA actually has a good point. We have the forbidden room to do. So you got about 5 minutes then. About 5 minutes.
Reprieve.
No pressure, actual pressure. But Del donated $20 just saying, okay.
So I actually, wait, 390 is kind of a weird number to have as max ammo, don't you think?
It is, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, anyways, we're not going to worry about that right now. So because we have the power off to save, for the purpose of saving the animals, the cargo rail is actually not functional. I can't take it as a tram from east to west. The doors are just locked, basically. So we have to take an alternate route through here.
The scenic route.
Yeah. Sometimes in this category, this route is taken whether you're saving the animals or not.
This is another interesting change where they're now filled. It's now filled with Metroids, and instead of
and the last
There it
item's here.
is.
There we go. That's the validation item, right?
Yeah,
Well,
somewhat, yeah.
I want to say you came up with this first. We're call it the redesign item because the missile pack you pick up at the end of redesign that you have to pick up to finish the game.
That's the last 1.4% of
Fortunately, unlike the redesign item, we don't care about how much ammo we actually have compared to the max.
We're less than $270 away from the goal, which is absolutely insane.
So we're basically back at the ship, but where are the animals?
Where are they indeed?
Just gonna pass by the ship. Actually, didn't even see it there because the animals are in here. And what's interesting and why we had to turn off the power is that would normally be a Verdite laser. And animals, it's really just animal.
And this is what saving the animals gets you. A hint on the very hidden puzzle in this game that gets you an entire other playthrough.
Which to me was absolutely amazing, and I
Yeah.
really, really enjoyed
Second
unraveling.
quest.
This
That's
is going to
awesome.
be time right here.
Time.
GG.
The ship flies away. It's Pump donated $3.05, saying we keep that 69 cents, which actually got regged by Kanar, who donated $70.05, saying 1.4%. Less than 200.
Yeah, so thanks everyone for watching. I'm gonna let the credits play a bit to confirm 100%, and then open back up and show everyone how to do the Forbidden Room achievement. What's that?
Oh, we saw the little starship on the
Little
right
pixel.
fly away. Pixel.
I forgot about that because it's like not even the main focus of saving them in this game. But yeah, 138. That's not bad.
I think that hits. Does that hit the any percent?
It
does, yeah.
Okay, so in the credits here, you'll see it unlocks a challenge menu and the hard mode for beating the game for the first time, which
You should show that off.
I did this on a completely fresh file so that we would actually see all the direct stats from this particular run. The challenges list is basically a bunch of achievements. It has a set power time for like an any percent speedrun and 100% speedrun, so those should be lit up. And then it's got a low percent item goal and pacifist. You have
those
to get
won't be.
under a certain amount of kills, and there's some other stuff in there. Skip Varia suit, skip plasma beam are ones that are like, you have the goal is clear. You have to figure out how to do that. There's Deathless, which unfortunately I didn't get because of Hyper Torizo, but there's two. Save the animals is not completely obvious how to do, and the last one, the Forbidden Room, is that is the one where there's just like no hint on exactly how to approach doing it, and you get locked out of it during the game. So if you load up a 100% file, you can't go back and most likely can't go back and try and find it. So I'm going to show how that's found after the credits.
We're just gonna show it. We're not gonna show how it's found because
Oh,
we're
yeah,
not
true,
gonna do the whole
true.
route. You all have to figure out how to get to it yourself.
Yeah, there's complications.
Yeah,
at
I
that
mean,
point.
yeah. Like basically, yeah, basically. So what's gonna actually? I'll just give some quick shout outs before we get into that, since we have
Yeah, it's a good time. to do
time
that.
waiting. So I wrote them down so that I wouldn't forget people this time. And I forgot where I wrote them. Okay, here we go. Okay, so shout outs to Kamaru for making a really, really good map entirely in Google Docs, in a
Which makes
Google
it
spreadsheet
searchable.
for this.
Just
Yeah.
great.
Listing like every item and every possible barricade and what items each requires and stuff. He did a lot of work. He did a lot of work on initially routing 100%, and to begin with, I'm not using
Dear
Force.
We hit 15K on Deer Force!
Yo, that's
What
hype.
up?
That's so
That's
hype.
awesome.
But yeah, he was so great at documenting stuff and routes and ideas and stuff in the beginning, and he's kind of moved away from the game since then. But he was also super into running Super Metroid Redesign, which is my favorite hack.
Woo! He did it.
Ashton,
Just being a close second. I broke the
congratulations
curse.
on actual hundo. Let's hear it. Woo!
So yeah, shoutouts to Kamaru. Also shoutouts to Tracy, LRTA, Sean Cass over here, and Pitch01 for just being my friends and sticking with me through, just helping me out a lot and sticking with me through some really hard times. Sean also for like a lot of strat suggestions and ideas, because he runs any percent of this game. Also, Metroid MST and Lenifus for being good friends in the Metroid hacking scene and racing community in general. Iron Rusty Stratlog and Bo XQ actually made a randomizer for this hack, which is really cool. So shout outs to them, and shout outs to Ace Zero and Apathy Duck for being my teammates this season for the Super Metroid Randomizer League Season 4, which Tracy is doing a ton of work organizing, and we're about to start week 2 of matches on Speed Gaming coming up next week, and super looking forward to that. And now I will show off the achievement menu and what the stats were of this run, basically, before we get into the Forbidden Room stuff. So challenges, this menu unlocks. We hit both the any percent and 100% speedrun goals with 100% run. It's 138 in-game time. Low percent items, 100%.
You have to do a little bit
That's
of work
the
on
lowest
that one.
amount of items I've gotten, and we got the save the animals in there. So now.
Actually, that 551 on the pacifist is not bad when you think about it. That's pretty low.
Yeah.
That feels pretty low.
So I'm going to load up another file I had for the Forbidden Room. So basically, for the Forbidden Room, you need to visit the crash site of the GFS Daphne without the GFS Daphne being there. So before the ship crash happens, and getting in a state in which that's possible is a bit complicated because of the laser being there, and turning the laser off to turning the power off so that you can go get Metroid suit to get through the laser kind of complicates things with getting there too, because there's a gate in front of Light Temple that is blocking your path if the power isn't off. The cargo rail doesn't work, so it's kind of a puzzle on how to get there. But I have a save file that's closest to a state in which I can get there. So we'll go see what the whole Rocky Ridge Norak area is like without the GFS Daphne present.
Also, that's another testament to the attention to detail that they put into this ROM hack. The fact that you can also not crash the ship, go back,
Check out about the Speedball. It gets everyone every time. Well, Skirtac doesn't do it either.
Oh, you're right,
but,
doesn't.
But this Speedball gets everyone on this coming through this way, I feel.
I just want to do a quick shout out to Test Runner and Amoeba of Doom and the whole team who worked on this ROM hack. They've done a tremendous job. It's one of the best, if not the best I've ever played. And
It's my favorite.
It's legit my favorite. The whole experience around it, even with the whole puzzle / enigma that you had to solve to get second quest and everything in between, the attention to detail, the pure love that went into this ROM hack. It's amazing.
Yeah, very well said, G-Virus.
Oh yeah, sorry. I didn't meant to. I didn't really give them a personal shout out as well, but I kind of meant to. I thought it'd be obvious enough that I would not forget, and But I've had so much fun playing and exploring different ways of beating this hack.
But to be fair, I think redesign is still your favorite. But there's
Yeah.
a little nostalgia there.
It's a tough one to beat for me personally. So yeah, this is the Forbidden Room, and with it, the creators actually get to do a bit of their own shout outs here.
Aww.
To my beloved Iverwen and to my children, I love you. I hope I pronounced that right. I have no idea if I did. And that this is a great one. Molly was here. And as soon as you clear the text box, everything breaks.
Did you want to show some of the log?
Yeah, sure.
I mean, we didn't really show off the logbook, but it
I
continues.
saw you in the
Here's a-
practice room yesterday, and I was like, "What'd you do?" But then I remembered that. Oh yeah, it's true. That's what happens when you do the second one.
Yeah.
But it's
So,
you
got all the different.
You didn't complete the log.
I did. Wait, what is this? Oh no, because this isn't my 100.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Oh yeah,
yeah,
it's not your
no,
hundo.
no.
It's true.
But yeah, these are the items he picked up, and it
Actually,
explains what all the
I don't know. I mean,
items do.
technically it would have because in the route
No, you didn't go see Fantoon, so you
you
wouldn't
don't,
get.
yeah,
100%
you
log.
don't have no Fantoon and no first visit to Ridley, so you wouldn't have a complete log there either.
It's true. That is very true.
Okay, I think that's it for me though. Thanks everyone so much for watching, and enjoy Majora's Mask coming up.
Thank you. And anyone watching at home, if you like Super Metroid, you could get into this ROM hack. This is not something that requires insane skills. Second Quest is an entire beast that was made for advanced runners and everything, but this ROM hack And the way I put on my stream every time I play it, and I'm not going to stop saying it until I run out of breath and I can't speak anymore. If back then they made a sequel to Super Metroid on the Super Nintendo, this is what it should have been. It's just such a natural evolution of the original game, while without completely making it alien to everything that made the original so great. This is an amazing ROM hack, very approachable, and it's just more Super Metroid. So once again, let's hear it for Ashder, Tracy M, and Sean Cass for an amazing run and commentary.
I didn't actually thank you guys specifically for doing commentary, but I thanked you in other ways.
And also, I'm going to go through the donations that came in because we got pushed over the edge for the 15,000 during those final moments. Grigot Junk donated $10 saying, "My favorite Zelda game, please. Thanks, NoReset, for this wonderful event. Big love." Maxime donated $30 saying, "Let's go, on continue ça." Mary O'Malley donated $50 saying, "On le fait." Martessar a donné $150 qui dit "Moving in for the kill." And that's the one that took us past 15,000. And then Kanar came back with $6.95 saying, "Fixing something quick, .69. And I'm Beach donated $20 saying, "Skull Kid mérite sa run, save the animals and push that to 15K for Skull Kid." And a huge thank you to the NoReset team, à tous les volontaires, bénévoles, runners, organisateurs et donateurs. Merci all. So without further ado, we're going to go to a quick transition. It's not over yet. The bonus run, The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask on the N64 glitchless with Skull Kid 64 is coming up next. Restez des nôtres, on va aller préparer la dernière run du marathon, la run bonus de Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask avec Skull Kid 64 glitchless au Nintendo 64. Donc restez des nôtres, on vous revient dans quelques minutes.